live. I'm live. Oh, I was about to be like, no, why does it say I have a very bad connection? Can you guys see me, or do I need to start over? Can you guys see me, or do I need to start over? It says I have a very bad connection. Hi. You can see me? Hi. Hi, Alexia. Hi, Chris. Hi, Naomi. Hi, Savannah. Hi, Kemuel. Hi, Justin, Ray. Hi, Jada. Hi, the boy in blue. Hi, Queen. Big wave. Hi. Okay, so you guys can see me. I don't know why it says I have bad connection, but you guys can see me. Yes, let's talk about it. Hi. Also, I think the movie for today is The Cookout. It's The Cookout, or is it Jump In? I think it's The Cookout, right? I can't even really see who's in here because it just keeps telling me that I have a bad connection. I don't know why it's doing that. As soon as it's The Cookout. Hi, World Lover. Hi, Davey. As soon as I started, it said, like, very bad connection. Hi. Random, but I watched Man of Steel again last night. Seriously, that movie might be one of the most underrated movies ever. So damn good. Man of Steel is a masterpiece. You can't change my mind. I'm doing a follow-up Justice League video, where I'm also going to talk about the Suicide Squad Ayer cut. But I know y'all want to talk about Doja Cat. Let's talk about Doja Cat. A lot of people was like, are we going to talk about Doja Cat? Am I going to make a video about Doja Cat? But I was like, since I'm going live today, we might as well talk about it today. It doesn't really make sense. Hi, Tim. Oh, it looks like I just came back. Hi, Vans. The Cookout. Hi. Bro, okay. You think we should wait until more info comes out? I was also trying to wait to see if she would address it. Okay, let me start off by saying, for anyone wondering, the movie is The Cookout. So, if you want to, like, watch along, if you want to try to, like, get a link or, like, get your movie together while we have this, like, chat, we can. Hi, Ori. So, right, let me start off. Let me start off by saying, because Lynn said I think we should wait until more info comes out. So I want to start off by saying that I feel like this is going to go to one of two ways. Number one, she's going to try to ignore it and not address it. Hi, Mar. Hi, Mulatto. Hi, Shady Saint. She's going to try and either ignore it and not address it and see if it goes away. Or number two, if it doesn't go away, like if this is still trending and circulating and people are still talking about it, I'm going to say by Wednesday, she's going to have to address it. I think as of right now, she's probably being advised to not say anything to see if it just like goes away over the, the long weekend, the Memorial weekend or whatever, the holiday, and to see if people just like move on. And then if people don't move on, I think she's going to come out with some type of apology of like, I was trolling, or I was, she's going to give us the Camila Cabello. She's going to give us the Camila Cabello special, I didn't know, I was young, I didn't know, she's going to do that. How I feel, I don't want to like lose you guys' comments. And hi to everyone that I missed. I see everybody. Hi, Tim. I see you. I don't know if I'm going to keep my hair short. We'll see. World Lover. Right. So, Alexia, I'm just at a loss for words. Mulatto. Is there actual footage of Doja Cat talking crazy? So, there is video of her in the chat recently, which I just can't believe. My mind is truly blown by the situation. I feel like I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I don't know if she's, like, on drugs, if she's drunk, if she's, because I know people are saying she's a serious alcoholic. I know people are saying, like, she's a cocaine, like, she's a cokehead. Her being in chat rooms, like, as of last week, makes no sense. Like, you literally, right, like, so recent, like, you literally just had a number one. Why are you in chat rooms? Like, your face is so recognizable. Like, she had to have been high or drunk or having a psychotic break of some kind, or she doesn't want to be famous and she's trying to, like, sabotage, like, self-sabotage herself. Like, this is self-destructive behavior, which also makes me wonder, like, are you the one, like, leaking your own? Because it's, like, so much all of a sudden. There's been rumors about Doja Cat for years, like, rumors circulating around, but there's never been any, like, proof, really. And then it's just, like, all these, like, pictures and, like, videos and, like, all this stuff. I'm like, is she leaking this shit herself? Like, does she just not want to be famous anymore? So she's, like, leaking this stuff herself and, like, going in chat rooms? I just don't know. I just don't know. Or, if it's not her, okay, this is how I feel about it. Number one, I feel like this racial shit is, like, extreme, and, like, she needs help. I seen Mulatto say that, like, and when I say help, I just mean, like, therapy. I seen Mulatto say, like, she has serious daddy issues, which it seems like she does. All of her actions seem like she has daddy issues. Like, she said she didn't know her father and, like, whatever. So it seems like she has issues with, like, black people, black men, her own identity, her own blackness, internalized anti-blackness, like, self-hate, self-issues, like, therapy, something. I do feel like the racial shit that came out is, like, so icky that, let me also say, I was never a fan of Doja Cat. Like, I was never a fan of Doja Cat. I never considered myself to be a fan of hers. I do think she's extremely talented, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, like, Nicki Minaj got her number one, so Doja Cat has served her purpose on the charts. Like, you know, if she goes away and never comes back, your purpose is fulfilled in life. You know, you could retire. I never really considered myself to be a fan of Doja Cat. I haven't heard her album Amala, and I didn't listen to Hot Pink either. I do think she's talented, you know, like, she makes beats and, you know, she writes her own stuff, whatever. But, like, I really don't care if she gets canceled, personally. I feel like I don't have a dog in this fight of, like, her getting canceled or her not getting canceled, because, like, I'm not a fan. And I do feel like the racial stuff that she's done is, like, extremely, like, icky. And so for people, like, I feel like it's totally fair for her to get canceled. I think it's totally fair for her to get canceled. I don't really feel like people have to give her a pass for what she said and did. I don't. Like, what she said and did was extreme. But, like, everything is, like, so, right, like, she need therapy, Jesus, maybe some holy water, maybe an exorcism, maybe rehab. Like, I don't know what she needs. Like, she needs something. Because, like, I really felt disturbed. Like, I literally felt disturbed. Like, I felt disturbed. Like, yeah. I'm not really sympathizing with her. Like, I'm not really sympathetic. I'm not sympathetic towards her. I felt disturbed. Like, I just felt disturbed by everything I was seeing, and it made me feel gross. It literally made me feel like I wanted to take a shower. I just felt like this is, like, too much. So I feel like her being canceled is totally fair. I don't feel like people are being unfair by saying, like, this is too much. Like, I can't handle this. Like, she's canceled. Like, I'm not fucking with her anymore. I feel like that's totally fine, you know? But I know that's also easy for me to say because, like, I'm not a fan. Like, I'm not invested in her. I'm not invested in her music. It really doesn't mean anything to me if she gets canceled, if she goes away and never comes back. I do also feel, however, that if this is not like some self-sabotage, that somebody is, like, I feel like this is like if this is not self-sabotage, this is some type of, like, targeted hit on her. I do think. I don't know if this is, like, Lana Del Rey stance, because just the timing of, like, she goes number one, she, like, gets this number one record, she gets randomly name dropped by Lana Del Rey in a racist ass rant. I feel like the past 3 days have just been like, boom, boom, boom. Lana Del Rey, Doja Cat, this person acting out, that person acting out. I don't know if it's like a full moon. Queen said that it was like it's like a sinkhole. It's like a cosmic sinkhole. Like, I don't know what's going on. But the timing of this is just so off to me that either she's doing it to herself, like she can't handle getting this #1 or something, or she's being targeted by somebody. Because I don't know if it's like Lizzie Grant stands. I don't know if it's like that she's being blackmailed by one of these like white incels, you know. I was talking to my friend about it, and my friend was like, my friend feels like probably one of those white dudes tried to like blackmail her, and when she like didn't go along with the blackmail, they like released all this like stuff. I don't know, but she's definitely being targeted. Especially, I feel like the fact that it's been these type of rumors about Doja Cat for like years and years, but there was never any like hard concrete proof or evidence that like came out. And now like all of a sudden like all this stuff came out a week after she goes #1, and literally like 2 days after Lana Del Rey name dropped her. I think it's like totally, oh, they did, that got confirmed, Kayla. They did, the guys in the chat confirmed, one of the guys in there leaked it. Right, okay, so yeah, so that to me is also disturbing. I feel like this shit is so disturbing on so many levels. Like on one level, her racial issues are fucking disturbing, and she deserves to be canceled for like the racial shit that she's said and done. My Cash App is $, capital S, Seren, capital S, Sensei. That's my Cash App. So I feel like on one level, I'm so disturbed by all the racial stuff. Like, cancel her so that I don't have to like look at her anymore and feel gross. Bye. On another level, I'm also disturbed because she's clearly being like doxxed by somebody, and people are like you know, people are releasing like nude images of her, and it seems like it's like a collection. Like she has like different outfits on and like different hair and like all that stuff. And if this is something that's almost like a revenge porn of like, you know, white boys releasing it because she was being sexually blackmailed, it's like that also makes me uncomfortable. Like I don't really want to partake in like that either. It's like, X out the whole situation. I'm grossed out by the whole situation. I want everyone to, I just want everyone to be canceled and go away. Everybody involved. But I also feel like, a part of me also feels like that's what she gets, which is like horrible. I feel like horrible about saying that. But it's like, that's what you get for like, why are you running these circles? Like, and why are you running these circles a week after you go #1? Like, because you were just in there. Like, you were just in there. Like, you were just in there. So, obviously, you don't care. You don't care about your career. I don't care. So, I don't care. I mean, I already didn't care because I wasn't a fan. But it's like, you clearly don't care. Like, I've seen one of you guys say in the chat that they think that she just doesn't care. She's just, like, that far into like her racist like kink play or whatever, that she just didn't care. And it's just like, if you don't care, then I don't know, like, but I just don't want to participate in no doxing, in no revenge porn, and like I'm not with that. I don't think that's cool. I feel like the information that came out about her is like so disturbing, and she deserves to be canceled for it. I also feel like the doxing and the circulating of like images and like videos of her body and stuff without her consent also makes me uncomfortable. Like everything just makes me uncomfortable. Like right, like her obsession with chat rooms is weird. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's sick. The whole thing seems like it's sick as fuck. The whole thing seems like it's sick to me. It's not exciting for me. I will also say, like, I do feel like people are like excited by this, you know. It's not exciting to me. I just feel like it's weird. Like, your kink is like, you know, going into Discord at like 3 a.m. and having like random like white guys call you nigger. Like, whoa. It's, my limit is here. She's like up here. Like, I just, like, so she's canceled. That racial shit is disgusting. But the fact that there's obviously like some type of something going on, like her being doxxed, like white boys leaking her shit, Lana Del Rey stands digging through her tweets. Y'all also know how I feel about like digging, you know, like digging through stuff. Like Lana Del Rey stands, I seen people say it was like people still mad about her number one. Like the circumstances like around this stuff coming out is disgusting. The stuff coming out is disgusting. Like I'm disturbed on all levels. I don't have no problem with like everybody being like everybody involved needs to get canceled. Like cancel Doja Cat, cancel Tiny Chat, cancel everything. Cancel everything and everyone involved. So we'll see if she addresses it or if she just keeps trying to like let it, you know, let it go. Let me see some of the stuff you guys said in the chat. It's very disturbing. I'm lost for words. I do agree. Word Lover says Shorty been weird. I do also agree that like Doja Cat's like a internet, her being like an internet cam girl or whatever is not surprising to me. Like she's always said that she's like into gamer shit and like chat. Not that there's nothing against, I have nothing against gamers, like nothing like that, but I'm just saying like she's always said that she's like into internet, into chat rooms. She's always said that. She's just never said that like the chat rooms that she was into, but like now we know, you know. Hi Sponge Dami. I have a feeling she's gonna play up the self-hate issues and her father abandoning her. How long do y'all think it'll last? I don't know, we'll see. I really believe that Doja's on drugs. I know a lot of people have been saying for a long time that they think she has a cocaine problem, that she's like, you know, she's like constantly like touching her nose and, you know, whatever, and that she's like an alcoholic too. Like, why? I literally just don't get it. You just had a number one last week and you're in chats. What the fuck? She has to be on drugs. The theory, hi Warren, the theory I hear about Doja Cat is that she's really into race play. I believe it. I also feel like, again, like, I feel like Doja Cat has personal problems. Like, it's, like, I don't know, it's weird, you know? And like, some of the other stuff, like, even outside of, like, the race stuff, like, eating vomit, you know, like, Doja Cat has some serious issues. She could use this time to wear a face mask to protect her identity. Right? I thought the same thing. I was like, even if you're that into your race play shit, and you are addicted to like the chat rooms and you have to go wear a mask. The fact that she really was in there, and they said she was in, this was like last week or like a few days ago, so this was even like after her number one. You just don't care. You just don't care. Like, you just don't literally care. And again, I feel like if you don't care, like, we don't have to care. Like, if you don't care about, you know, your career and shit like that, like, we don't have to fucking care. Like people gonna, like, that's it. How on earth can all this stuff come out all at once? I don't think it's just daddy issues. I think it's mental issues. Yeah. The internet has a short attention span, so people will probably stop talking about it by next week. Yeah, her dad was in Serafina, which I also feel like she should know better from jump, because her father is famous. Like, your father is a famous public figure, so it's not like you're some nobody that became famous. You feel me? Like, your father has been famous your entire life. Like, you're the son, like, you're the daughter of, like, a famous actor. So, like, you just don't care, you know? Like, even before she herself, like, got famous, her being in them chat rooms and being in them kind of spaces, like, could have also, you know, affected, like, her father's career and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know if this is just like a fuck you to her father. I don't know what is going on. I really don't. I don't know what is going on. I don't think she's on drugs. She's definitely one of those gamer girl types. They kiki with edgy white people, and personality just consists of being random or edgy or whatnot. I agree with that too. I do think she's on drugs or something. But I do agree that she's like one of the, like, she has the edge, like, she's an edge lord. Like, I'm haha, like, I'm so edgy, like, I'll say whatever, I'll do whatever for a key. But it's like, you can't do that if you want to be a public figure and have some type of public career. And the racial element of all of it just makes it extra disturbing. Like, you know, there's people that's just like into, like, oh, you want to be edgy, so you just say whatever, you know, whatever. That's fine. But like the racial element of it is disturbing. It really kicks it over the edge. The fact that her last time being in the live chat was only a week ago is blowing my mind. It was probably leaked by the men who leaked her address. Her being anti-black is mad confusing, to be quite honest. This is so bizarre. She needs all the therapy. Hi, Sketchnificent. I found a link. Oh, but the video is in reverse. The whole thing is so bizarre. I'm not saying that her saying just trolling makes it excusable. I'm saying that's what she's gonna say. She's either gonna not address it at all and hope it goes away, or she's gonna apologize and say she was just trolling, and again, she's gonna give us the Camila Cabello, you know, special. I was just trolling, I didn't know, I didn't realize, all that. I'm not saying that that's, like, correct. I'm just saying that's what I think she's gonna do. I know it has to hurt more considering her dad is famous. Doja's gonna be the poster child for racial identity therapy. Bro, yes, Mulatto! You're not gonna cancel her, Corgi? I'm not gonna cancel her. I just think she really needs help. I feel like that's up to the individual. I guess that's up to individuals, because there are gonna be some people that feel like they don't want to cancel her because they think she's like really disturbed. I feel like, again, I'm not really a fan of Doja Cat. It's fine to me if she gets canceled. Like, she served her purpose in life. So, and I don't think the people calling for her to be canceled or the people canceling her are wrong, because what she did is fucking disturbing. I just feel like, again, the way that it came out was, like, also disturbing. And, like, I hate doxing. I hate doxing. I'm low-key indifferent, too. I enjoyed her music, but I was never invested in her. She can go. Right, exactly. I don't think she'll get canceled. Like, I think Doja Cat is weird and has problems. Like, her specifically. I don't necessarily think that this is, like, indicative of other things. A lot of people are surprised, but I always knew she was a 4chan baby, so I didn't flinch at all. Right, I didn't really flinch because I feel like she's always been really open about being like an internet girl. And like I said, these rumors have circulated around for years. I'm a little bit confused at the number of people that are like dead shocked and surprised. These types of rumors have floated around about Doja Cat for years. And she's always been upfront about the fact that she's like an internet girl, you know, and a cam girl. Maybe not that she was a cam girl, but who didn't know that Doja Cat was a cam girl? Doja Cat literally goes on live and just sits there doing her makeup and doing beats. She's obviously somebody that's like used to being live on camera, like, and then you add in the fact that she's like a weirdo and like, I don't know. I didn't really feel like it was a reach, and that she likes to like hang out in chat rooms and all that stuff. Very uncomfortable, very disturbed. I am Disturbia. Disturbia. Hi, Owen. I always thought Moo was a troll song. This was probably strategized. I definitely feel like it was. And I also feel like even if you step back and you like look, there's like, at the exact same time, literally, because I looked, at the exact same time, there were like 5 different threads made about her on Twitter by like 5 different users that were like all anonymous, like anonymous pages. And then there was, like, also a thread made about her on Lipstick Alley by, like, an anonymous user. It just seemed very coordinated. It seemed like a coordinated attack, which is why I'm saying either she was targeted by somebody that knows her and had this personal information. Like, again, maybe she's being blackmailed by one of her white boys or something, which one of y'all said that it got leaked. Or she's being targeted by somebody, Lana Del Rey fan, I don't know. Or this is, like, self-sabotage, self-destruct, and she's doing it herself. Targeted hit or self-sabotage, very interesting. The white men who were in the chat with her said that one of the guys who got rejected by Doja is the one that leaked the video. See, and that's revenge porn. And y'all know them fucking incels and shit are into that revenge porn shit, and I hate that. Like, I hate that. But, like, at the same time, like, they had dirt on the bitch. She did it. Like, she made the bed, now she gotta lay in it. Like, the whole thing is sick. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I was about to say, like, how do you let people get this type of dirt on you? But, like, she's obviously, like, something's off. Big karmic energy, new moon in Gemini. That's what it is. Hi. We have not started yet. It's supposed to be the cookout, but we're talking about this first because I knew everybody would want to talk about it on live. I'm catching up on the chat. I know I'm behind. I'm going to get to your comments if I haven't got to your comment yet. But I'm just, like, seeing if this link works. This one that I have here, I hope it does. I keep getting pop-ups. Trying to get it to play. I think it's gonna play. If it plays, I'll just let it play. Maybe it was the guys who got mad at her because she didn't show her boobs. Maybe they were waiting. I've also seen some people say that as well. That it was, like, leaked by somebody that was, like, upset that she didn't show her boobs. Because I seen some comments that said, like, ha, this is what you get because you didn't show us your boobs. Like, I don't know. Like, there's like, also something weird happening with, like, her boobs and her body. I don't know. The whole thing, I really feel disturbed on, like, several different levels. I think she's hardcore into her race play kink and just doesn't care. I agree with that, too. I felt like I was watching a crackhead tweak out. It was really sad and uncomfortable. Right, I felt really uncomfortable. The guys in the chat confirmed one of the guys in there leaked it. This isn't her first time getting canceled. Didn't she promise her fans nudes in return to stream her song? Now the incels struck back when she told them psych. But that's what happens when you playing around with this stuff. Like, even if, which I don't believe, but I've seen people saying this, even if she just was, like, trying to troll or, like, do this to be funny or, you know, play around, you know, like, this why you don't play around with them incels. Like, them fucking white boys are crazy. Like, that's what you get. I hate saying that's what you get, but, like, not that's what you get that you, like, got revenge porn and shit leaked and you got doxxed, but, like, that's why you don't play with demons. That's why you don't play with demons. And, you know, I really think she's disturbed with, like, this racial shit. Like, the whole shit is fucking disgusting. And, like, she's gross, and it's gross, and she needs help. And I'm not saying that, like, as an excuse. I'm just saying, like, I'm really freaked out by the whole thing. It made me want to call my therapist. Like, I'm stressed out. Why put yourself out there like that? So weird. She probably has a really intense fetish that she can't handle. Azalea Banks. And I seen Azalea Banks say, like, you know, I also have mental issues, but I got canceled and nobody cared. Which is true. Like, and I think Azalea Banks has, but y'all know I love me some Azalea Banks. Broke with Expensive Taste, most underrated album ever. Like, y'all know that's my girl. Like, and I support Azalea Banks. Like, okay, I support Azalea Banks. Like, I bought her music. Like, I supported Azalea Banks for, like, literally, like, years and years and years. And Azalea Banks is, like, totally right that she has, like, mental health issues and nobody gave her a pass. I do not think Doja Cat should get a pass at all. I also think, like, I felt like when Azalea Banks got, like, quote-unquote canceled, I also felt like that was fair. Like, you out here calling people, like, sand nigger and talking about bleaching your skin. Like, you crossed the line. Like, you know, just like how I said, like, this was the line. Like, you crossed the line. Some of us are still going to support you. Like, I still ride with Azalea Banks. Like, that's my problematic girl. Like, I'm not going to argue with people about, you know, her issues. But, like, I do think that people that canceled her for some of the things that she did that crossed the line, they're within their rights. I feel the same way about Doja Cat. Like, nobody's tripping for canceling her. And her having, like, mental issues and being disturbed is not an excuse. Like, she deserves to be canceled for what she did. The circumstances around it were also disgusting. The circumstances around it coming out, the fact that she got doxxed and stuff. It's like, it's gross. I think she has some deep-rooted issues that are derived from her being abandoned by her dad. That 4chan shit is ugly and those circles are scary, racist. Right, it's almost like you played with fire and you got burned. We can't feel bad for you, you know? Damn, why can't I find this movie? Hi, Nicole. Watching the cookout. I'm trying to find it. Can't find it, though. I thought this link was going to work, but it's not working. I just have a black screen. People have no problem doxing in those extreme internet circles. Doxing is like their hobby. Right. I could see that. Sexual blackmail. Like, even in a lot of those, like, gamer circles, for example, they do something called swatting, where they dox you and they send, like, SWAT teams to your house. And, like, people get killed, you know, doing that shit. So it's just like, she played with fire. Like, she played with fire. And she got burned. You're playing with fire because of, like, your deep-seated racial issues or whatever. Like, that's the way the cookie crumbled. Hi, Kenneth. Yeah, I seen the news on my timeline. Twitter doesn't give a fuck. Definitely a Lana stan is doing this. It's a lot. But why would you go back into the chat? Lana Del Rey definitely sicked her stands. The timing is just too coincidental. The timing almost feels like y'all talking about Lana Del Rey for being racist. Like, here goes, and like Lana named Doja Cat. Here goes Doja Cat. Like, it's just too coincidental to not either be targeted leaks, fans, or like her doing it to herself because of her number one. It's too coincidental. It was all good just a week ago. It's not much she can say for me that will convince me otherwise. Okay, let's see if I can get this one to work. Her kink is more important than her career. Oh well, bye. That's pretty much how I feel, Warren. Like, you know, if you want to, like I said, if you want to go on chat to have white boys call you the N-word and eat vomit, you clearly feel like your kink is more important than your career. So, and nobody has to support that because it's disgusting. I think she has an obsession with the chat room. Somebody posted part of an interview from last year admitting she would skip school for days at a time in high school to be in those chat rooms. And I think she gets off on it. Like, she gets something out of it. Like, I seen that article of, like, you know, like, she likes, I don't want to say that she likes being, like, verbally abused, but whatever. Like, she likes, like, she said in that interview, like, you know, they will call me horrible, like, that they will call her horrible things, and that she enjoys it. I don't know. Therapy. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Yeah, Donald Glover, Owen. Donald Glover said he let a fucking non-black woman, he said an Armenian white girl, like a Kim Kardashian type, call him a nigger during sex, and that he liked it, and it was fucking weird. Like, I think more people than y'all realize are into this type of thing. Doja just got caught. But she made it easy to catch her because she was in chat rooms, you know, last night and shit. Like, it's way too far. I don't think she could redeem herself for me. Hi, Alien Baby. Hi, Girl Interrupted. This is just tragic. She's definitely on drugs. Like, sis, this is her fault. Right, for associating with the alt-right group. Like, two things happen. You'll either get disrespected, which she doesn't care about that, or they'll try to ruin your life. Right, I don't know if maybe she had, like, convinced herself that, you know, oh, maybe, fuck. Y'all, I opened the wrong one. Computer froze. Damn. I'm really having a problem finding this, and now I'm going to have to restart my whole computer because I think I got an ad that just froze my computer. Shit. But it's fine because we're chit-chatting about this. Jada, man, I'm officially disturbed, bro. Like, whoa. Those discords after dark are wild. I know. No, I know they are. And they're totally anonymous. This is what I think. I think Doja Cat just got too comfortable, which can happen when you're used to being on the internet and stuff. I think she just got too comfortable, and she felt like, I don't know if she felt like those people were her friends or if she felt like, I don't know. But I feel like she got too comfortable. She felt like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm anonymous enough. I'm in discords after dark. I'm in random, you know, tiny chat groups at 3 a.m. These are my people, you know. They're not gonna screenshot me or whatever. Just dumb. Just stupid. Race play is gross. Twitter's Doja Cat cancel party. Why does it need to be a whole party? Cancel her if you wish. I have, but we don't need to take glee in this. I don't like that happened to her, but damn, Ma, like, what did you think was going to happen? That's how I feel. It's more disturbing than anything else. The fact that it's been radio silent from Doja and her team. I think she's ain't sitting right with me. I think she's trying to wait and see if it will, like, go away. Like, because sometimes celebrities get into these type of situations and they feel like if they just don't say anything, it will go away over time. Like the whole Candace Patton situation, J.R. Smith situation. People were like dying for her to say something and she never said anything, and then it just kind of like went away. So I feel like Doja Cat's team is trying to like wait and see if it's gonna go away. Okay, I restarted my computer. I'm about to like do it again. Hi Kamisha. I agree. Don't go digging for dirt, but also don't roll around in it. I think it's now too big to not address it. Everything must go, Alexia. Everything must go. Sad thing is, people do this all the time, taking screenshots in private Discord, screen recording private combos, etc. Right, and for those of y'all that are in the Beast Bake Discord, y'all know, that's why I said, like, even though, you know, you're amongst friends, like, always be aware of the shit that you're putting, and the shit that you're putting about other people, because you really never know. Especially, like, nowadays, you just never know. You have to be, like, you have to be aware, you know? And if you really want to have, like, a private conversation, like, do it in DMs or PMs, because you just never know. And I've seen that happen in Discords and other Discords, like screenshots, and then, you know, they're talking about somebody, they screenshot it, and then they like go DM the person on Instagram like, oh, they're talking about you, you know. Not saying that that's what happened to her, but just in general, I think that nowadays people are just too comfortable. They're just too comfortable on the internet. Like, they're just too comfortable. She's the e-girl. She's always giving that vibe. The internet has a short attention span, so I doubt by next week people will still be talking about it. Her song Cybersex has a whole new meaning. I was just praying that it wasn't the Beehive who leaked her for blocking Beyonce from #1. I've also seen people theorizing that. It seems like it's so many different ways this could have came out. Like, was it, that's why I said, like, was it somebody mad that, like, she went #1? I'm not, like, saying the Beehive, like, specifically, and I see you said, like, I think that demographic is, like, by and large above that shit. Yeah, I don't know if the Beehive would, like, take it this far. I hope they wouldn't. But I don't know if it's, like, somebody mad that she went #1. Again, if it's, like, a Lana Del Rey stan pissed. If it's, you know, y'all saying that one of the alt-right incels leaked it. Or if it's, like, her doing it to herself. I don't know. She did a song and video about cybersex. She's all about that shit. Seems like Doja really has issues, and being raised by her white mother didn't help. A lot of her songs now have a different meaning. Yikes. Listening to cybersex now don't sit right with me. Can't listen to her music anymore. And I feel like that's fair. Like, it's disturbing. It's fucking disturbing. Like, it's fucking disturbing. Like, it's weird. All the shit that came out is, like, too weird. It's too weird. Like, I totally don't think anybody is wrong for canceling her and not being able to listen to her shit anymore and just being disturbed by her. Because it's fucking gross. It's disgusting. Her publicist is going to have a nightmare saving her career. There were also some completely fake tweets circulating. The narrative is almost too twisted to believe, and the energy behind it is suspect, but it's all repelling enough to turn away. Right. Ori has said, like, this is the type of situation where you just want to, like, wipe your hands of the whole situation and just be like, everybody involved is canceled, and walk away. She seems super drugged up in the videos I've seen, or at least very drunk. Hi, Acrylic Rose. Yeah, I knew she was weird, but I didn't know she was that weird. I genuinely liked her. It's one thing to have your kinks, but she went too far. Eating vomit, Savannah. Vomit. You heard. Yes. That's definitely a sign of deep-rooted issues. I'm not excusing it at all. The race play shit comes from self-hate. Making herself, yeah, like making herself throw up. Like serious race play shit. Like making herself throw up and like eating vomit and like, you know, in a Brady Bunch chat with like 8. It's, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, it's so disturbing. Her dad is famous. Yeah, her dad is famous. Her dad is famous. Maybe she was doing this as a way to hurt her father. Her dad is a famous actor in Africa. He apparently started reaching out to her after the fame. It's just like, I don't, she seems disturbed and she has problems. And I feel like it's totally fine for people to cancel her. Like, you don't need to be famous. You need to get some help. Call me crazy, but I bet this is the aesthetic she wants to have. Like how Gaga has her thing and Madonna has her thing. It's like she has her thing, but it's all the way off on the deep end. And maybe that's true. Like I said, like maybe she's releasing all this shit herself because she wants it to be known. Okay, it's known. She never met her father. He got the mom pregnant and pretty much went back to his career as an actor. Right, like her father was like a famous actor that like knocked up some random and like kept it moving. I've seen all these types on Twitch and YouTube. Hi Nikki. Something's definitely going on with her. She's off the chain. I'm still trying to find this movie, y'all. The Cookout. I had a link and then my whole computer froze. I knew about some of this, but bruh. That's what got me, because some of the stuff people were talking about I didn't take serious because she's an edge duchess, and I thought people just didn't get internet troll culture. I do think some of it is internet troll culture that people do not get. Like, this is how I feel about her being a cam girl. I don't really care about her being a cam girl. I do think that there is an element of slut shaming that's happening to her being a cam girl. Just her being a cam girl, right? Like, I've seen some stuff that's like, yeah, this is how all those nerd gamer girls are. Like, they're all sluts and like da-da-da-da-da. Like, that I don't like. Like, I don't like it. Like, that's the shit I don't like. So, but like the fact that she was cam girling for like alt-right white incels is disturbing. Like all the people you could cam for, like that's who you want to cam for, and you repeatedly, and you're into race play. Like, that is where she went off the deep end. But I don't have it, like I have an issue with the race stuff, like the racial stuff. That's what I have a problem with. If she wants to cam girl, that's her business. I mean, even if you like a lot of that stuff is like her business, but like the racial element of it is disturbing. Like, a lot of the stuff that people are talking about is like troll, is like just troll, really is like troll shit, like outside of like the racial element. Like, I don't know, like if she wants to like show her tits at 3 a.m. on cam, whatever, you're famous now. But if that's what you want to do with your spare time. But the fact that you want to like do it for like racist like whites and like eat vomit and like have them call you the N-word is like worthy of like people being freaked out and like canceling your ass. And like all the other things that came out that she's like said and done that's been like racial and like the internalized self-hate, like people are allowed to feel uncomfortable by that stuff. But the cam girling stuff and like the gamer girling stuff and the internet stuff, like I don't like people acting like that stuff is like wrong. Right, the company you keep says a lot about you. Right, exactly. Like, the company you keep says a lot about you. Like, if you just want to cam girl for randoms, go at it. But if you're specifically seeking out, you know, like racist alt-right shit because you have a problem with blackness, people can cancel you for that. You know, like I don't think it's far-fetched for people to be too freaked out and they just can't, you know, fuck with her anymore. I don't think that's unfair. I do think the doxing and like the revenge porn element of it and the fact that it seems like a concentrated effort is whack. Like, it sucks. I wish it just had came out naturally. I do. Maybe that sounds weird, but I do also think that like some of this stuff is like a reach. It's like, you know, people are like, here's proof that Doja Cat did this, this, and this. And then the tweet is like full of like anonymous sources and like, oh, a friend of a friend's aunt's cousin said that they met Doja Cat one time and she said X, Y, and Z. Now that's not proof. That's not proof. That's a rumor. The only thing that I'm considering proof is to be like the stuff that she's in, like the video and stuff that like she's in and like the stuff that I can hear her saying and doing. I do think a lot of this is conjecture from people that clearly are tired of her and are done with her and like want her out of here. And that's another part of it that I don't like. Like, I don't like that because anybody can say anything. Like, anybody can say anything online, especially hiding behind incog. Or hiding behind, like, a random page on Twitter. Or, you know, hiding behind... And I literally see... Like, I've seen... And I'm sure, like, a lot of you guys have seen it, too. Like, you know, a text message chain of, like, my boyfriend's cousin's friend that worked in the airport ran into Doja Cat and she said she didn't like black people. Like, that's not proof. And they have that in a tweet that says, like, proof Doja Cat doesn't like black people. That's not proof. It's a rumor. Conjecture. But there is enough... And I don't like that, too, because I feel like there's enough out there with her face, her voice, video, you know, all this, that, like, why are people pushing conjecture about her so hard? You know, like, we have enough. Like, we don't need no extra. We don't need no extra. We don't need no extra. Let me see if this one works. And I feel like that's something that happens... Oh, it's like downloading something. No. And I feel like that's something that happens on the internet a lot, which I know you guys have seen me talk about. Like, people love... I guess they just love rumors. Like, people love adding insult to injury. Like, people love adding insult to injury. Something could be bad enough on its own, but motherfuckers... That's telephone, I guess. Motherfuckers will find a way to make it, like, bigger and bigger and badder. It's like, what happened was bad enough. Like, I don't need any more. Oh, I think my chat might have froze. I think my chat might have froze. I think it did. It definitely did. My chat froze, y'all. My chat's not updating. Okay, that's weird. I wonder, maybe I should close it. It looks like... Oh, yeah. And my chat looks like it froze a while ago. I just got to the bottom and I'm not seeing updates. Hold on. I might have to close it. I might have to exit and come back. I'm going to exit and come back because my chat is frozen. Let's see. Can you guys see me? Why is my chat frozen? What the fuck? I might have to restart because my chat's frozen. My shit is just bugging. I'm gonna have to restart, y'all. My chat's frozen. And I don't want to, like, not be able to see the chat. Let me see. Let's see if I can get this link. If I can get this link to work, I'm gonna restart the chat, the live stream, and then we can keep going while the movie plays. Let me see if I can get this to work. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna see if I can. Because my chat's definitely frozen. It stopped updating like a few minutes ago. Okay, I'm gonna end this and restart. I'm gonna end this and restart because my chat froze. Can't see anything. Oh, wait. I just turned the chat off and turned it back on, and I see it now. I see it. I turned it off and turned it back on, and now I can see it. Okay, now I can see it. What the fuck? Like, boo! So I missed a lot of you guys' comments. Sorry. Because the chat got canceled. I mean, the chat ended. Okay, well, I missed like 10 minutes of chat. Sorry, because I just closed it and reopened it, and it's only letting me scroll up to a certain part. The last comment I can see is, she can be on cam. That's her right, but it's the community that gets weird, like, yuck. The thing is, I don't even think she was talking about degradation, humiliation, kink. She was talking about being called the N-word by her incel friends. She said that in the context of becoming an edgelord. I bet she's somewhere loving all this talk about her. She hates everything that makes her part black. Doja Cat said in a video that she likes to be stepped on. Her kink is being degraded, so the bizarre race play stuff comes into play. It's still fucking gross. Like, and now I kind of feel like, okay, so this is also how I feel. I feel like we're also getting into... I don't have Twitter, banned permanently. Yeah, we are. Hi, Bailey. I honestly couldn't even finish watching the whole video. It felt really dark. What do you think she deserves if you only pay attention to what is specifically proved? She still deserves to get canceled. She still deserves to get canceled. She still deserves to get canceled. That's what I'm saying. That's actually what I mean. Like, the shit that's out there is bad enough that she still deserves to get canceled. We don't have to blow it up with fake shit. I feel like blowing it up with fake shit minimizes what you're trying to do, almost. And, like, the slut shaming and stuff, like, minimizes the point. The point is that she's racist or something, or has internalized self-hate, race issues, whatever. Like, that's the point. All this other shit, I feel, is gonna, like, detract away from the point. And that's probably even gonna be what ends up giving her an out, because she's probably gonna say that all this stuff was said within, you know, a certain context that we don't know, and that she got doxxed, and all this shit got blasted all over the internet, and, you know, it's not fair, and whatever, and then people are gonna, you know, like, that's probably gonna end up giving her an out in the end. Do you think this relates to her not having her black father in her life? I do. And, like, some of you guys have also said, like, maybe this was a way to, like, get back at her father, which I kind of had that feeling already when the whole thing going around about, like, her not liking, like, black men, and that had got people, like, up in arms. Like, she probably has, like, fucking issues with her father. Like, you know, her father not being in her life, and her father's black, like, you know, whatever. Like, not that that's an excuse. I'm just answering the question. The question was, do you think this relates to her not having her black father in her life? I'm sure it does. I'm sure she has resentment towards her black father and probably black people as a whole. She was probably raised by a racist, her mother, her white mother. And I also seen somebody bring up J. Cole. Like, this is my thing, because I've seen a lot of people saying, like, if you have a white mom, like, you're automatically. I don't think you're automatically going to end up this way if you have a white mom, because I do think J. Cole is like a perfect example. I feel like you're either going to go left or you're going to go right. If you're being raised by a white racist parent, especially your mother, because J. Cole was also raised by a white racist mother. J. Cole went left. He don't like white people. He's talked about like his white mom being an alcoholic. He's talked about being raised in a trailer park full of white trash in North Carolina and being called nigger by his own white family members. J. Cole is like the type of person that's like, I've seen the true face of like white people, and I just can't, I don't fuck with them. Like, they're racist. Like, I just don't like X out. I'm not with it. And I'm gonna like make music about like racism and like all that, which you guys, you know, like I've talked about like J. Cole versus Logic, right? Like J. Cole versus Logic, they're like both have, you know, have a white mom or whatever, but like Logic went right and like J. Cole went left. I feel like Doja Cat is like another example of like going right versus going left. Like Doja Cat, like how J. Cole went left and said like fuck white people, Doja Cat went right. You know, like Logic went right of like, I guess, internalizing the problems, you know? I don't know. I can't even get this link to work, so we might have to just like postpone this for next week since we're talking about this whole situation anyway. And the chat froze, so I missed a lot of people's comments, so because I can't even get a link, and I couldn't remember if it was the cookout or jump in, so we can postpone this. We can postpone the cookout for next week. Next week is Booze Bake anyway. Where were we? The incels hacking. Agent Ross stopped playing. This live has been buffering a lot. Doja's incel boys froze the chat. Hi, Tarot student. Hi, Davey. Yeah, I'm back and I can see y'all, yes. Hi, Razor Cranham girl. Anybody that I missed that came in while the chat was frozen, hi. Cancel culture canceled our chat. Also, Lana, I also think Lana picked on Doja because she's still pissed that her feature film song was better received than the Charlie's Angels reboot one. I saw your comment that you left saying that. I didn't even think about that, Just Nicole, but I agree. Like, Doja, like, Lana Del Rey naming Doja Cat was just too random. It was like, here's somebody that's like, not in your lane. Like, she doesn't make the same type of music as you. It's not the same genre. The subject matter, like, she's not in your lane at all. Naming her just felt real superfluous. And when I saw your comment that you think it's because she's pissed that, like, Doja's song, feature film song, was, like, better received than the Charlie's Angels reboot, I was like, that makes sense. Lana just seems, like, mad. She just seems like she has sour grapes that, like, other people are succeeding. And it's not even like she hasn't succeeded. It's like you've succeeded also. Like, why are you mad? Why are you mad? And, not to change the subject, because there's still shit to unpack with fucking Amala, bitch. But I also felt like with Lana, because people are saying like, well, her point is supposed to be that, you know, she's like a more traditionally feminine woman or whatever, and that there's not no place for like traditionally feminine women and for women to be like soft and like fragile and delicate, you know, like feminism is like ran by like sexy girl power, you know, bitches like Beyonce. And like this was like a conversation I was having with somebody, and they were like, and that's why she named Beyonce. And I was like, well, she's still totally overlooking the fact that black women don't even get to be seen as like soft and fragile and delicate. Like, black women are automatically stereotyped as sexual, as hypersexual, as, you know, the strong black woman or whatever. Like, black women are automatically put in this box. Like, it's hard for black women like Beyonce and Nicki, you know, like successful artists that she did name, established vets or whatever. It's like hard for black women to even be seen as like fragile and delicate and like soft. Like, that goes against the stereotypes. So even if your point supporting them would have made her point more solid, if your point is supposed to be that, like, quote unquote feminism, which you guys know I don't even fuck with feminism, like white feminism, whatever. If your point is supposed to be that, like, feminism doesn't have a place for, like, all types of women, it would have made more sense for you to embrace them and be like, you know, there needs to be a place in, like, quote unquote feminism for all women, for women that are strong and powerful, and, you know, for women that are, like, soft and delicate and fragile. And then she could have even said, like, you know, black women are always stereotyped a certain type of way. We need to have space. Like, you know, she could have, like, really, like, worked that into a thing. Like, and that's why when I release my new album, I'm going to be focusing on the fragile, delicate. Like, she went about it all wrong because she's a salty racist. That's it. That's it. Doja fans cancel your chat. Yeah. Doja hit the limit for me also, Kai. The threads I saw on her made me sad. It seems like she has deep-rooted issues. We're not watching it right now, Alexia. I couldn't find a link either, and we're just talking about this, so we can, like, push the cookout to next week. Hi, lovely Lunarian. I'm not for the kink shaming at all. It's the racial elements of race play. Yes. And the insensitive song that people are bothered by. Those are the points. I think her skater boyfriend is the one coming after her because they broke up recently. It's always sad seeing someone self-hate, but that's on her. Right. I wonder what her relationship is like with her mother. She's definitely in love with whiteness. Her mom sounds like a crazy cokehead hippie because Doja apparently grew up in an ashram. What are you doing with your white mama living in a Hindu temple? J. Cole, Colin Kaepernick are two examples. Right. That was me. Not all mixed race black people raised by white folks are the same. J. Cole versus Logic. J. Cole does not play like that. Yeah. Are you talking about J. Cole? And I will never call J. Cole biracial. He's black to me. No one is changing my mind. Halle Berry is another biracial that went left instead of right. Right. They went left instead of alt-right. You know. You know. You know. Where was I? Why is your white Jewish mom in a Hindu temple? I never saw the entitlement men had over her dating white men. I figured that's all she's ever been around. When that whole thing became a controversy, I just felt like, I mean, that was how I felt too. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I've never seen her down, like, black men. I've never seen her, like, publicly say anything bad about black men. Like, if her boyfriend's white, her boyfriend's white. But now, knowing that she's into race play and kink play and shit like that, it, like, totally puts, like, a different... Everything that she said and done previously now is going to be, like, filtered through a different perspective now that all this information is out there, you know? Yeah. So we'll do the cookout next week so everybody can have time to look for links and get their drink and stuff because next week's Boost Big. Since the black community... Hi, Elijah. No problem. I try to read all the comments. That's why I was going to, like, stop when my chat froze. Since the black community is canceling Doja Cat, do you think she will still have a platform because of her white supporters? I don't know. Maybe. We're already like an hour in. We can just do it next week. Her white supporters were forgiving her on Twitter this morning. Logic's mom is racist too. Yay, the boy in blue! Doja also commented jokingly under Lana's feminist essay, and then all this came out. It's a little too coincidental for me. Lana Def put something on her. Is Lana still popping? I know a lot of people who are fans of her, but it seems she isn't as big as she used to be. She's definitely not as big as she used to be. That's why she's mad, throwing shade at people that went #1 recently. Because she feels like she should be the summertime sadness queen. Lana had a privileged chip on her shoulder. Hi, Black said what? Cancel culture is overrated. Hi, Kimberly Frazier. Traditionally feminine. What a fucking reach. Hi, Shannon. Lana Del Taco! That's the best name I've ever heard. Sketchnificent. Lana Del Taco. Lana is very synonymous with Tumblr for me. It seems like after the app fell off, so did she. Lana can't take criticism. Like, I really used to fuck with her, like, especially back in the beginning, her early stuff, like her first couple albums. Oh, I keep saying that. Her, like, second and third album or whatever. But, number one, she can't take criticism. Like, she can't take criticism. I don't think that, like, anybody gave her unfair criticism. I really don't. Because she really did glamorize, like, a lot of, like, abusive shit. She did. Now, a lot of people do. It's not like she's the only one. But I feel like all people that, you know, talk about abusive relationships, like, Amy Winehouse, like, caught that same type of smoke for a while. You know, like, tons of people have caught smoke for singing about certain lyrics that people felt like might have been glamorizing things that were dangerous. But even then, it was like, Lana Del Rey will get, like, a largely positive review that will be like, this is amazing, that's amazing, I love this, I love that. And then they'll say something like, I do wonder if this is appropriate for children. I don't know, because she is sort of talking about drug abuse and, like, physical abuse in a certain type of way. Even if everything else was, like, glowing praise, Lana Del Rey is one of those type of artists that will take that one sentence and go, as an artist, I feel like I'm not able to express myself. You know, like, bitch, relax. Lana used all those adjectives for her brand of femininity. All of her was white. She kept using the word delicate. Lana is clearly lost in the sauce. FKA Twigs is even more about sensible femininity and doesn't have half the respect Lana has from her peers. I'm glad you brought up FKA Twigs. FKA Twigs to me is an example of another example of, like, a biracial girl with, like, a white mom that dates white boys and all that, but just sits quietly in her lane. Quietly. Just quietly. Like, now she's doing, like, her pole thing, like, she just sits in her lane and, like, I'm just gonna, like, sit here and make art. I'm not gonna, like, you know, go in alt chat rooms in my spare time. I'm not gonna, like, make, you know, racially insensitive music. Like, I'm gonna just sit here and I'm gonna just chill with Shia LaBeouf, you know? Lana's whole essay was full of microaggressions. I really think it has to do a lot with, like, who your parent is, how you were raised, what was your situation, all that. I think the whites are still going to support Doja, especially now that they know she too is very racist. Fair. Lana's just entitled and hurt. She's a salty racist. Lana said, question for the culture, and I just knew. Right, the fact that she even started it off that way was like, all right, let's strap in. This roller coaster is about to do some racism loop-de-loops. People are losing their damn minds in the quarantine. That or they're getting sloppy and their true selves are coming out. Didn't Lana support Blue Lives Matter? She sure did, because she was dating a cop. Lana dated a whole Republican cop. She has literally no reason to be salty. This is the Karen in her that's acting. Hi, Seven. So were Doja dad and mom ever together? Because is this a YouTube link for? You guys know I can't. Oh, let's see. Is this a YouTube link for the cookout, or it's like hard? If I can't open it from the chat because it will close the live stream. One. Or what is this? What is this a link to before I click on it? Tell me. Before I click on it, what is this a link to? Is this a link to the movie or is this a link to something else? Lana said there's a bug in the Matrix. Why are these blacks still whining along beside me? This whole Doja thing, I don't have a dog in this fight. Right. That's how I feel too. Like, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't. Because I don't feel like I'm a fan of Doja Cat. So, maybe that's, like, weird to say, but... And what she did and what came out, I feel like was reprehensible enough that canceling seems like a fair verdict. The whole situation of, like, her being doxxed is, like, trash, though. The general public loves to label mixed people. Yeah, I feel like you have to let people speak for themselves in that regard. Like, Tia, I really feel like we joke around about it. We joke about it. But I really, me personally, talking about, like, Tia and Tamaga, I really feel like Tia is, like, the black twin and, like, Tamaga is the white twin. Like, we joke around about it like, ha ha ha. But that's really how I feel, like, based on, like, how they act and, like, you know, how they seem like they feel internally. So, I'm not gonna just label... For me, again, it's, like, a case-by-case basis, which I feel like I've said before. Like, for me, J. Cole, I feel, is black. Like, he obviously identifies as black, looks black, you know, all that. Black parent, black politics. Logic, to me, is white. Like, you know... And Logic has, like, cried about that. Like, oh, me and J. Cole got the same, like, you know, racial makeup or whatever. Like, why do people see him as black but, like, not me? It's like, your whole everything is just, it's not black. Like, it's just not. I don't know what to tell you. So, I'm not gonna just be handing out black cards. I just don't do that. I don't even know why anybody, like, once Cardi's, like, pictures of her parents and stuff came out, I don't know why people kept trying to, like, push the narrative of, like, her being black. She didn't have no black parents. Before all this, Doja having a white boyfriend was nothing. Now it adds up to something really unsavory. Right. Right, exactly. Who are these men she raps about in her songs? Sounds like fictional relationships. I haven't listened to too many of her songs. Like I said, I don't really have a dog in this fight because I haven't listened to too many of her songs. The only songs of hers that I've really listened to that I know the word, well, I don't know the words, but I know some of the words, is like Juicy. I know some of the words to Juicy, and I've listened to Say So, but I'd only listen to Nicki's part. Really? Sorry. So, I don't know if she talks about specific relationships in her music, but I think she's mostly talking about, like, guys that have hit on her. And again, it's like, now knowing the backstory, it makes it very unsavory. Like, you know, in Juicy, it's like, you know, niggas want to know how long it takes to pull my pants up. It's like, you know, like, maybe. It's just you can't listen to her shit the same, knowing. Her audience will shift. I don't think her career is over, though. It sucks because I genuinely enjoyed her album, but I can't look at her music the same. Lana is supposed to be a practicing witch. Oh, yeah, maybe. And I also think, like, maybe that's another reason why, like, I never super got into Doja Cat. Like, I seen one of you guys say, like, now you can't listen to Doja Cat and, like, Rico Nasty. I also never listened to Rico Nasty. I couldn't get into Rico Nasty. And, like, a big part of why I also couldn't get into Rico Nasty was because I felt like Rico Nasty was weird about race, too. Like, it's a lot of people out here that's weird about race. A lot of these artists have lost their momentum since quarantine. Conspiracy theory. I don't necessarily believe this. Atlantic has something to do with this because Doja was about to replace Cardi, and we know they're very strategic with taking competition down. I low-key feel like Meg Thee Stallion has already replaced Cardi. I feel like Meg Thee Stallion replaced Cardi more than Doja Cat. Meg Thee Stallion replaced Cardi as, like, personality girl from the hood. You know? She's real, authentic, relatable. She has such a great, fun personality. I feel like Meg Thee Stallion replaced her. But Meg Thee Stallion has a better personality, and she's also more talented, making better music, writing her own raps. So I feel like Meg, like, slid into that spot. That Doja Cat stuff is really sad. I really like her personality, and she's talented. Lana has a new album coming out in September. I heard that Atlantic rumor. Lana can't sing live, but her albums were cool. It wasn't made for kids at all. I sing Amy's toxic songs all day. Atlantic is shady, but I don't know how true that rumor is, though. Billie Eilish. That's just all I can think. Followed Lana's path and has... No, that's not what you wrote. You wrote her real name, but all I can think is Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish followed Lana's path and has seen so much more success and accolades. Lana probably views her as the younger version of her that's replacing her, and she's mad. But she knows she can't call Billie Eilish out because, like, Billie Eilish is, like, a young white girl. And everybody's going to say that she's, like, attacking her. So instead, I feel like Lana, like, took her, like, anger out on, like, random people. And a lot of them were black. So... Lana is overly sensitive to the critiques of her music, but she'll never see it because she's pressed that black woman magic got her hot and bothered. She had the nerve to say her pum pum tastes like Pepsi Cola, but then wants to complain about black women being sexual. Right, FKA Twigs and Sade, they just like chill. Don't talk, don't say nothing. FKA Twigs just be dancing and learning dance with her soft music. No fuckery, no complaints, just music and art. I love FKA Twigs. She just make her beautiful music and minds her business. Right, and I feel like people, like, Lauren London's biracial. You know, like, there's tons of, like, biracials that make it known that you can just chill very quietly, like, and not be a racist asshole. You know, like, it's possible. It's possible. FKA Twigs just be minding her business and drinking her water. Moms usually carry the culture. They carry the tradition. So biracials who have white mothers are usually culturally white. I agree with that. Like I said, you just have, like, I agree with that. It's just I feel like it's a choice. This is me personally. I feel like it's a choice. Like I said, you have some that go left and you have some that go right. Alt-right. FKA Twigs left Batman because of his fans. Yeah, because they were racist. And they're still obsessed with Kristen Stewart, who's a lesbian. Like, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson are not getting back together. She's gay. She's always been gay. She was in the closet. That's why she always used to look like this all the time. That's how Kristen Stewart used to look all the time. Because she was depressed. She's not getting back with Robert Pattinson. I don't even think she ever wanted to be with him. They were together as a publicity stunt for the movie, and then it just got out of hand. And I think that whole thing with her kissing the fucking director of Snow White and the Huntsman was planned to get her out of that relationship. And to get him out of his marriage, because his wife wanted to marry Jimmy Iovine, which she did. Now she's a very rich bitch. That's white people tea. That's white tea. Billie Eilish is basic. Just can't get into her. I think Lana Del Taco has an issue. That's so great. Has an issue with black women. Pattinson's fans were awful to FKA Twigs. 2020, the year of clear vision. Everyone's BS coming to the forefront. I do believe that. I've been saying for the longest that moms pass down the culture. The culture is predominantly passed down by women. It's true. When Lana said for the culture, I was like, damn, I bought so many of her songs. Now I can't fuck with her no more. Hi, Ebony. Okay, well, we're just going to, like, pause movie for this week. We'll come back and do the cookout next week. And next week is also going to be Booze Bait because it's the last Sunday of the month. It's the last day of the month. It's May 31st. Whoever the caregiver is influences the future generations. I mean, does anybody think? I don't know. Does anybody who thought that? When it comes to Doja Cat, I want Americans to acknowledge that the part that makes Doja American is her mom. The person that raised her, she has zero ties to, like, black Americanism. Do people think she's a black American? Seriously asking. I also kind of felt like I really had no dog in this fight because, yeah, like, she's South African. Like, I didn't feel betrayed or nothing. Did people not know that? It's fucked up she got doxxed, but she's guilty. The boy in blue, that's literally how I feel about this situation. Like, oh, Seren, how do you feel about Doja Cat? It's fucked up that she got doxxed, but she's guilty. Like, bang the gavel, like, throw her in jail. Like, that's it. She got doxxed, it's fucked up, but she's guilty. It's like what you did in the dark came to light. You made your bed, now you gotta lay in it. Like, it's terrible circumstances of how it came out, but at the end of the day, you did it. There's no denying it. There's no nothing. Tia has always resonated with her blackness more. It's very, well, I mean, don't put her in jail literally, but, you know. Tia has always resonated with her blackness more. It's very obvious. Tia has one sibling, Taj. That is hilarious that we have a twin example. They were pretty much raised the same. Right, it just depends. Like, it depends. I always think of them as an example because I really think it just depends. Like, it really depends. And I think that, like, for example, Tamara is another one that has, like, serious, like, self-hate. That don't make it okay that she married a motherfucking MAGA. And that's why we call her as Tamaga and shit. Like, and Tamara only cares about being black when Tia is getting praised for something. Like, when, like, all that, oh, they say I'm less of a black woman because I married a white Trump supporter and blah, 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 and everybody says Tia is the black one. If nobody said that Tia was a black one, Tamara wouldn't even care. She would probably like it that people call her white. Because her husband sure goes out of his way to be like, my half-white wife. He never calls her half-black. He always calls her half-white. He only acknowledges her white side. Tamara always be saying something weird on the reel. Tamara probably gonna cry for Doja. Tamara's gonna go on the reel on, I don't know if it's, I don't watch the reel, I don't know, it comes on every day, right? But I don't know if it's gonna come on Monday, because Monday's a holiday. Tamara's probably gonna go on the reel on Tuesday and be like, it's not fair, like, you know, I know what it's like to be, like, racially confused. Shut up. Women with good relations with their father typically go for men who remind them of their fathers. Women who don't are the opposite. Yeah. I learned in my teens not to do that. You mean like give blanket statements about biracials? People who don't acknowledge or identify their black side usually have complex issues that they need to work out on their own. I think it's like 5 of them, Maori siblings. It's like 4 or 5 of them. It's the twins, Taj, and yeah, another brother that's not famous. 4, yeah, Ebony said 4. They have 2 brothers, I believe, so it's 4 of them. Hi, you caught me live. Tia, Tamara, Taj, and then 1 more brother. The other brother was just on Tia's YouTube show, her YouTube cooking channel or whatever. Cybersex sounds wild now. Right, like, it's just certain things about Doja you just can't listen to anymore now that you know. It's crazy how we're talking about Doja Cat and Tia and Tamara came up. Tia Tamara was the first Doja Cat song I heard. I think Tia Tamara was the first Doja Cat song I heard too. And I didn't care for it. I didn't really like it. I didn't like anything she did until Juicy, which I like Juicy. It still wasn't enough to make me listen to her album, but I just thought Juicy was like a cute bop. And then I liked Say So, and that's it. I hate this alternate reality. What happened with Rico Nasty? Rico Nasty always got to talk about how she's mixed and she's biracial and she's Puerto Rican. I don't even follow Rico Nasty's career. I couldn't name one Rico Nasty song outside of Tia and Tamara. Every time I've tried to like read up on her or like read interviews about her or like hear anything about her music, it seems like every single interview opens with her talking about race and talking about how she's mixed and her mom is Puerto Rican and all this other stuff. And she's like from PG County or something like that. And I feel like she overblows like, she makes this whole thing about how, like, she was bullied and, like, all this other stuff. Like, I cannot tell people, like, what happened to them. Like, I can't tell them their history or whatever. But, like, I know where you're from. I'm not saying that I doubt that people bullied you for being, like, half Puerto Rican. But, like, in D.C., there's, like, so many, like, so many El Salvadorians and, like, Puerto Ricans and stuff like that. Like, you having a Puerto Rican mom and, like, a black... Number one, Puerto Rican's not even a race. Like, your mom could be fucking black. Like, I don't know. But, like, you having, like, a Puerto Rican mom and, like, a black dad, is this really something... Why do you have to, like, talk about it every interview about how, like, you're mixed, you're mixed, you're mixed, you're mixed, you're mixed, you're biracial, your mom's Puerto Rican. Her name is Rico Nasty because she used to, like, wear the Puerto Rico, like, necklace. And... she got called, like, Rico Nasty by somebody. And that's what and then she, like, changed her Instagram name to Rico Nasty and this and that. So even, like, the Rico Nasty, like, the Rico in her name is because, like, she's Puerto Rican. Like, she always has to tell us. She's another one that just seems weird about race, if you ask me. Like, why is it that when I read your interviews, I don't know nothing about your songs, I don't hear nothing about your music. All I hear you talking about is you're mixed, and you're Puerto Rican, and how you have it so hard. Why do I know that about you? I don't know none of your music, but I know that. I just started to try and follow her. Goodbye to her, too. Rico don't look mixed. Right. Like, you don't even look mixed. Like, what's your problem? Right. Like, you wouldn't shut up about being PR. PG County is definitely tons of races. Like, Rico don't even look mixed. I have a hard time believing that she was bullied by black kids for being PR because a lot of us consider PR black. Right. And even if you were, which I don't know if I truly believe, again, even if you were bullied for that, how did they even know? They know because you told them, because you're walking around with, like, a Puerto Rico necklace. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, like, embrace your fucking ethnicity and nationality, whatever. But, like, you're going on and on about how you're fucking Puerto Rican, bitch. Like, I bet you are Rico Nasty with your nasty ass attitude. We don't care. None of us care. Right. Get over yourself. Rico is the quintessential Gen Z starlet. So much personality and thousands of fans, but I'm not getting anything musically, and I have listens. Meg Thee Stallion put out a tweet a few years ago that literally said, being mixed is not that cool, y'all. I promise. I just saw that, Vermilion. Somebody posted on Instagram. Oh, it might have been Bailey. Posted on Instagram. Like, it's really not. Like, it's really not. Right. Her IG handle is Taco Bella. Like, girl, we don't care. You care. And that's the vibe. Like, that's the vibe I get from Rico Nasty. Like, we don't care. You care. You're the one that cares. You're the one that's making it a thing. We don't care. What that music sound like is all I care about. Probably what happened was that she kept bringing it up and them niggas got to bullying. That's not even a unique mixture. Right, girl interrupted. We were talking about it in Discord, and we were like, there's so many, like, black Puerto Ricans, especially, like, on the East Coast. Like, you're not special. She was probably bullied because she kept mentioning that she was mixed and acted like she was better than them. Today I learned Rico and Lauren London are mixed. Yeah, Lauren London has her mom's black. And see, like, you didn't even know. Like, Lauren London doesn't even talk about it. She just chills in the cut. Doesn't say nothing about it. Doesn't care. Doesn't act weird. Doesn't claim no weirdness. Like, I seen somebody else at Halle Berry. Like, it's totally possible. And I think Halle Berry's her mother is white. Her mother is white. So it's like, it just all, it depends. It depends on, I really think it, like, depends on the person. Because, like, then you have somebody, like, again, like Rico Nasty, who, like, you don't even look mixed, nothing, but it's a thing to you. It's just, some people have, like, problems with race. Alicia Keys damn near hides her white mom. I did not know J. Cole was mixed. I literally did not know J. Cole was mixed until I did a review of 2014 Forest Hills Drive on this channel, and one of y'all subscribers left a comment that literally said, you would never know J. Cole had a white mom. I said, skirt? What? That was the day that I found out that J. Cole had a white mother. I did not literally know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I had no idea. I had no idea. I didn't watch like the video, like the background for 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I just listened to the album. I was shook. I was so surprised. I had no idea. I was shocked. I didn't know. Because I don't always follow people's like outside lives or whatever like that. But I didn't know. And it wasn't like something that he made so known, you know, like it's not like every single interview I read about J. Cole, he's talking about it, he's doing this, he's doing that. You know, it's not something that he makes known like that, in my opinion. When I first heard J. Cole's mom was white, I thought he was like my cousin's friend whose white mom gave him to their black side to raise. She should have. She really like abused him. He didn't start talking about it until later on. Where I got behind on the comments. Hi, Line 10 Minute. Where was I? Let me go back because I got a little bit behind. Well, I got a little bit ahead. I got a little bit ahead. I don't know if I said hi to you, Shady Saint, but I see you. I don't think Doja will reach the level of stardom that she was on track to. She'll definitely still have a career, but this will follow her the rest of her life. Yeah, I agree. Or are you from DMV, Dama? Dama knows best? I discovered Rico Nasty through Doja. She be with that mess too. Yeah. Rico's mama. Her mom's Puerto Rican. Her dad is black and her son is black. Rico's weird too. Meg is who Cardi thought she was. Yes, Meg Thee Stallion is who Cardi thought she was. Rico is obviously black, even with her Puerto Rican mom. Meg is smart and more articulate than Cardi as well. Megan is everywhere more. She's much more talented and deserving. Meg definitely replaced Cardi. And she writes, and her body is crafted by the gods. Meg is truly unproblematic. Yes, and they've been digging up her old tweets and laughing. Right. And I just feel like and people have tried. I do feel, you guys know, I also feel like people have tried to target Meg and like knock her down and peg her too as well. Meg literally be trying to, Meg be dodging. She be dodging drama. She be dodging. She's like dodgeball. Like, she's like, nope. Like, she don't want it. Hi, Muffin. I don't think anyone's checking for Belcalis music anymore, especially with this pandemic slowing everything down. I doubt we get a sophomore album from her. Eyelash is not her real name, but that's all we call her around here. Latina isn't a race. That's why Rico is weird, because she be talking about her PR side like it's different and exotic. That's exactly the word, exotic. Rico Nasty is like that girl that wants to be told that she's exotic and special because she's mixed with Puerto Rican. Doesn't that sound stupid? And that's what she wants. She's the girl that wants to be told she got good hair and all this other stuff. She's clearly that girl. Again, I find it nuts that like I've tried to find some Rico Nasty like music and to like listen to her stuff and to like read about her because like, you know, whatever, and like every single time it's like I didn't even know J. Cole had a white mom, because when this was like, you know, however long ago, I'm reading interviews about him before he started getting more in, like delving into it and talking about like how he was raised and abused by his like white family and stuff. He's talking about totally other things, you know. He's talking about like New York, and he's talking about basketball, and he's talking about like being poor and being like, you know, growing up in certain types of like poverty and stuff like that. But he's not like, J. Cole was not out here starting every interview talking about, well, my white mom this and that. Rico Nasty, every interview, well, as a half Puerto Rican, bitch, as a half, what are you talking about? Okay, like, you ate some rice and beans growing up. Okay, like, okay. You went to the old Caribbean parade on Georgia Avenue with your little PR flag. Like, okay, girl. And FKA Twigs is an artist. Billie Eilish is literally becoming the new Taylor Swift without the boy drama. Yeah, Lauren London's biracial. See, nobody knew. Lauren London's biracial. Like, some people don't need it to be known because their whole... This is, I think, what it boils down to. For some people, their whole identity revolves around them being biracial. Some people are fine with just, like, you know, you have your J. Cole's, your Tia's, your Lauren London's. That's just, like, you know, yeah, like, I'm black. Like, that's it. Some people, their whole identity revolves around, like, biracial and mixed and self-hate and identity issues and all these things. It's different from person to person. And like Tia and Tamara really are like the perfect case study because they were raised together, but they're so different. We love our Lauren London, FKA Twigs, and Sade. I do. I try to read every comment. I do. A black mom makes all the difference, but it is possible. That remind me of Justin and Selena stans. That man is happy in his toxic marriage. Leave Haley alone. Was Kristen and Robert ever really together for real? They were a thing. And she used to walk around with her whole face crumpled up like she wanted to be anywhere else than walking down the street holding hands with him. I will never forget the first time I seen Panic Room as a kid. The gaydar pinged. And as time went on, I was like, she's a lesbian. Like, I don't care. And then, like, my mom was super into Twilight. And so I used to get into all these arguments with the little Twihard, you know, stans and be like, she is a lesbian. And I used to be like, no, she's not. Da-da-da-da-da. When I seen motherfucking The Runaways, I was like, Kristen Stewart is a lesbian. And then she finally came out the closet. I was like, she don't like dick at all. They always look miserable. That's really why she hated Bella in Twilight. I believe that too because Lenny Kravitz's mom was black and he carried himself as a black man. Right. And then you have other people like Pete Wines who got a black mama and a black as hell sister, same complexion as me, and she got the whole same face as Pete Wines, and he's went through all of life as a white man. Like, it really depends. Yeah, the wife of the director. The wife of the director, Rupert. I can't think of his last name. Saunders, maybe? Rupert Sanders? His ex-wife, because him and his ex-wife got a divorce after he got caught kissing Kristen Stewart. She went on to remarry Jimmy Iovine. She's doing just fine. I can't believe we're halfway through the year either. This year has been so stressful. It feels like it's been 3 years in one. Will you guys put the links in Discord? The cookout and the jump out link, and the jump in links just in case. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. That whole affair with Kristen was clearly staged. Right, Paigey. I was still in high school when that happened and could see that. I don't be knowing about people's backgrounds like that. I think people who don't do research just assume. Yeah. I'm gonna see y'all in 2021. We gonna party. Yeah. I think people following Doja don't pay as much attention to what kind of black she is as we do. I also think that people low-key did not listen. Like, Doja Cat has been saying for years that she's, like, into some... Now, no one thought it would be, like, this extreme. But I do feel like Doja Cat's been saying for years that she's, like, into certain types of things. And maybe, like, people didn't want to believe it. Or they didn't want to, like, look too deeply into it. But she's been saying for a while, like, I like chat rooms. I like to cam, you know? Doja is talented, but it's not deep to me. Anybody can get cut off. It's just music. It's really not that deep. Stop lashing onto these artists. It's a choice you make. Right, exactly. Yes. Her husband, I see y'all talking about Tamara. Tamaga's a weirdo. Her husband worked for Fox News. Yes, he always calls her half white, always. If you Google it, you can find it. He always be like, my wife, you know, she's half white. Like, he's trying to, like, it's okay. It's okay that I married her. She's half white. And Tia and Tamara loves that shit. I feel like her kind of does this now since she won her Grammy. What, she goes on and on about how she's part Filipino? I don't follow her that much. Oh, I saw one of you guys said Journey too. Journey Smollett. Yeah, she's another one that she just chills in the cut. She does like racially aware projects, underground, Lovecraft Country. Like, she don't try to be something she's not. Like, she recognizes who she is. Like, she embraces like her blackness. Like, Journey Smollett is another perfect example. Like, I almost feel like trying to say that, like, you know, oh, Doja Cat did this because, like, she's mixed. I feel like that's almost a cop-out. Like, that's not, like, I don't want to say that's not why she did it. Like, obviously, like, her racial identity issues, like, had a lot to do with it. But it wasn't, specifically because she's mixed and shit. Like, I don't, like, she made choices based on, like, her own mental illness or, you know, trauma, drug abuse, whatever. Like, but not everybody acts like that. Okay, now I'm, like, in the other Rico Nasty stuff. I'm gonna start talking like this as a black woman, as a woman who has a black mom and a black dad, as a black woman from America. I really be like, as a descendant of American chattel slavery, like, I say that in person. Like, I was in a conference and I said that and everybody, like, turned around and looked at me. And I was just sitting there like, and what y'all gonna say? Nothing. Have a hard time believing that Rico Nasty was bullied by black kids for being PR because a lot of us consider PR black. Black people in Harlem will rock with you regardless of what you are. It only becomes a problem when biracials say things out of line. There was no, I didn't know who to sit with here. Right. That was how I felt about Rico Nasty saying all that shit about people didn't like her because she's half Puerto Rican. Like, no, I don't think. You know, like in Social Network, when Rooney Mara tells fucking Mark Zuckerberg, Jesse Eisenberg, like, you're gonna go through your whole life thinking that people don't like you because, you know, you're smart. When really people don't like you because you're an asshole. That's how I feel about, like, Rico Nasty and, like, a lot of people. Like, you're gonna go through your whole life thinking people don't like you because, like, you're half Puerto Rican, whatever. Like, no. People don't like you because you won't shut the fuck up about it. You're always talking about it. Like, it matters. Rico doesn't even look mixed. She clearly has a problem with being visibly black. Right, that she has to let us know that her mother's Puerto Rican. Please get over yourself. She was probably bullied because she kept mentioning she was mixed and acted like she was better than people. That's not even a unique mixture. Probably what happened was that she kept bringing it up and then niggas got to bullying. And people need to get over childhood bullying. It's not an excuse. She kept blasting about how she was half PR. Kids got sick of it, started picking on her. Taco Bella, I'm dead. Woo! Yeah, like, no. They played a round of the dozen. Somebody made a comment about her PR side that haunts her to this day. My uncle had 2 daughters by a German woman. One of them has African phenotype, the other has European phenotype. However, they both carry themselves as white. Rico Nasty reps so much, I don't even think she's been to the islands. Alicia Keys damn near hides her white mom. She does. And again, you also have, like, some biracial people that almost seem ashamed of their white side, and they just, like, totally don't. That's kind of the vibe I get from Lauren London. Like as if her father doesn't even exist. Yeah, Hallie's mom is white. Journey. Triggered and troubled by racials make their issues everyone else's. Yeah. Halle Berry came chilled with us in the hood last year, Newark, New Jersey. I love Halle. I love Halle. Lauren London looks like a visibly black girl, period. Sometimes you really don't know unless they tell you. Tay Heckard. I think her father is Korean. She's like a Blasian. I didn't know J. Cole or Faith Evans were mixed. That was confusion. Most movies she played in, Journey got 2 black parents. I think Charlie Baltimore is mixed too. I was shook when I found out Faith Evans was mixed, but her mom is also Black American. I can't talk. I didn't know either. I never would have known. Oh, talking about J. Cole. People who make a constant effort to prove their link to ambiguousness are just weird. I think some celebrities understand that their careers will profit from them staying off the net. Yeah. Thank you. What is Nicole Rich? Like, who are her parents? Because Lionel Richie's not her birth father, right? Faith is light, and that's it to me. I thought she was just a light-skinned sister. Yeah, and I also have to say, I don't like whatever this trend is either, of, like, automatically assuming that, like, everybody light-skinned is biracial. Everybody light-skinned is not biracial. Like, and I do think that Black Americans specifically, like, descendants of American chattel slavery, have to be really, really extremely careful with getting on board of, like, getting on board the train that says that, like, all light-skinned people are biracial, and, like, all biracial people act like Doja Cat. I feel like that's, like, a very slippery slope, especially because descendants of American chattel slavery, most of us have, as we've talked about, most of us have, like, 16 to, like, 25%, you know, like, of, like, white blood due to, like, you know, slavery and, like, rape. So I think it's like a slippery slope that we have to be really aware of, like, where we stand on that type of thing. Because I just feel like, you guys know, I feel like we're at a lot of, like, culture wars right now. And I feel like it's not far-fetched that we might get to a point of people saying, like, well, Black Americans aren't really black either. They're mixed, you know? So I just feel like everybody should have that in the back of their mind when we have these conversations. I did talk about this in depth in a video. I think the video is called, like, skin color versus ethnicity or something like that. Because I remember, like, I literally sat there and, like, watched the argument one time online between a continental African and a Black American over some light-skinned Black American. I don't remember who it was, but, like, let's pick somebody randomly. What's her name from Soul Food? Can't think of her name. Nicole Ari Parker. Let's say Nicole Ari Parker. Picked her randomly. Or let's say, like, Tamia. You know, just, like, someone random that's light-skinned. And they were like, no, they're not, like, she's not black. The continental African was like, she's not black. And the Black American was like, she is black. Like, these are her parents. Or I see people saying this a lot about, like, the Curry family as well. And they were like, no, like, they are black. Like, they post a Christmas picture every year with, like, their whole family, like, all 12 of them. They're just all light-skinned. And somebody was like, well, like, black people don't naturally come that light. Like, they're mixed, you know? Like, in Africa, quote-unquote, like, we don't look like that, you know? Like, they have certain type of, like, phenotype because they're mixed. And then the person was like, well, all Black Americans have, like, a certain amount of admixture just from, like, over time. And they were like, yeah, all Black Americans are mixed. Like, none of them are black. Like, y'all gotta be careful with that. Y'all have to be real careful with that. Very careful. The thing is, a lot of people are utilizing eugenics to talk about race when racial identity has so many factors. Yeah, exactly. Race, nationality, and ethnicity are not interchangeable. Yeah, like, so I feel like, bye, Alexia. It just, you know, and then it's also, like, a weird thing when you say that, like, when you say that all light-skinned black people are mixed and therefore not black, it's like you do also have, like, darker-skinned biracial people as well. Like, they do exist. There's just, like, a lot of, like, I feel, like, blanket statements being made, and people are not actually taking into consideration, like, the way that, like, race, nationality, ethnicity, culture, all these things like actually play out. Like all light-skinned people are not mixed, for example. That's just not true. All Black Americans like are not mixed just because we have like a certain history. Like, it's not true. I got behind on the chat yet again. Let me see if I can catch up again. Where Doja's gonna have to claim mental illness and have a baby by a Black man to get out of this. I think Logic's issue is that he was mostly raised by his black side and had a racist mom, but it doesn't change the fact that he looks white. Also, his dad is biracial, so he's as white as Drake's son. Oh, he's white. I might have missed it. Megan Thee Stallion is going to be a superstar. I blame Doja's father for not kidnapping her and raising her. Well, goddamn! He should have stayed in his daughter's life. Maybe she would have been a halfway decent person. I had no idea about Rico. I can't get with her music either. I hate that whole exotic crap. It's anti-Black American trash. If Doja could have a child by a Black man and get forgiven, what does that say about us? Fair question. Eminem talks about his white mom more than J. Cole. As a kid, I used to make money at the Georgia Avenue Parade selling water. Hey, you probably seen me out there, Tony. I'm telling you. Rico Nasty was at the Caribbean Parade on Georgia Avenue waving that. She probably had like one of them big ass Puerto Rican flags like all wrapped around like Puerto Rican pride. And like there's nothing wrong with having like pride and like, your ethnicity and your nationality and shit. But like, bitch, like don't make that our black problem, because it's not. Like, bitch, that's a you thing. Which is also how I feel about Doja Cat. Like, bitch, you have personal problems. Like, seek help. Don't do whatever you're doing. The thing is, these people aren't firm in their identities. They're always looking for validation from other people. Just be your damn selves. Yep, she sure was in Panic Room with her lesbian auntie, Jodie Foster, Raising Kratom Girl. So happy for Kristen Stewart. Now she gets to be herself and live her best life. I wonder how the Maori's mom feels about Tamara being so weird about race. I don't know. Like, you guys know, like, I also have old videos on interracial dating. Where I feel like, where I've said in my old videos, like, if you want an interracial date, like, okay, like, that's up to you. But understand you're going to be inviting, sounds mean to say, but understand you're going to be inviting a lot of problems into your life and into the lives of your children. I know that sounds, like, horrible to say. But it's just, like, understand, like, when you date interracially, like, you're opening yourself up to a lot of stuff, Because the comment was, I wonder how their mom feels about Tamara Mowry, being so weird about race. Sucks for the black mom. It's like, the black mom had sex with the white man. Like, she facilitated the weirdness. Yeah, Pete Wines from Fall Out Boy. His mom is black, Jamaican. Pete Wines shocked me. Slash's mom was black and he passed as white. 2020 has been very stressful. This has been the craziest year ever. 2020 is 6 years and 1. Hi, PG. I saw Doja said she liked being stepped on. I was like, oh, okay, but this was a lot. I think people took things she said as a joke. They didn't take it seriously. Yeah. What is wrong with Tamara? Seriously, so gross. No wonder it looked like Tia walked all over her ass in the reality show. She looked so tired of her sister. And I remember everybody used to be like that they like Tamara over Tia, and that Tia is like stuck up and like all this other stuff. And it's like, it came out later that, like, behind the scenes, like, Tamara has all these fucking identity issues. Like, you just never know. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. You really don't. I think Doja does the chat room stuff as a kink. Journey Smollett has a black American mother from NOLA. I've never seen her not embrace her blackness. No, they have a white father. Zendaya switched up, had a light bulb experience after that Aaliyah debacle. Yeah, she did. She definitely did. Zendaya is a prime example of, like, she really had, like, a light bulb moment. Like, when they originally cast her to play Aaliyah, and people were like, no, this isn't appropriate. Like, Aaliyah wasn't biracial and, like, all this other stuff. Zendaya really took that to heart. And she left the role, and you can tell she started, like, learning more about, like, racial issues. She didn't just be like, well, I don't care. Like, blah, 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 blah. You know, how, like, whatever, you know? Like, she actually took it to heart and learned. Let's see. Certain things are contributors, but it's not the reason. Journey's mom looks like Nina Simone. She's from New Orleans. Zendaya had a wake-up call with the Aaliyah film, and when Fashion Week got very racist towards her for wearing locks. Right, and you guys remember I did a video on that too. She wore, like, locks, and Juliana Rancic said she looked like she smelled like weed and patchouli. To her face! Zendaya was like, excuse me? Like, yeah. Yes, Zendaya, like, get on board. Like, racism, this is how it works. Oh, my bad. I missed the part. Sorry. As a full black woman. As a black American woman is literally how I start talking these days. I have a guy friend that for years I never knew he was biracial. I think I saw a post with his white dad, and I was like, what? You're biracial? He never talked about it. And like I said, and I do think, like, a part of how you're raised is also a part of it as well. Because some biracials are, like, raised by their black side to be ashamed of it. Which I also think, when we talk about ethnicity and, like, nationality, that plays a part in it as well. Because I feel like this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. I can't speak for other places, but especially here in the United States, I feel like the predominant, like, ideology is that, like, most black Americans see, like, being mixed as, like, a good thing, whatever, whatever. But you also have, like, a whole sector of, like, our, you know, culture, our ethnicity, our population that, especially, like, I feel in the South, like, my family's from North Carolina, being light-skinned is seen as, like, no, like, it's a bad thing, because... And being mixed is seen as a bad thing. It's like a badge of shame. Because it shows that somewhere in your family, you had a rape occur. You know? Whether it was during slavery time, whether it was during Jim Crow. Like, my grandmother is very, very light. Like, and so she made sure she wanted to marry. And my grandmother was, like, born and raised in North Carolina. She was, like, sure she wanted to marry, like, the darkest of dark black men, because she didn't want all of us that, like, came from her to have shame. That's something I feel people do not talk about enough, because they don't know, you know? That's something that comes out of ethnicity. Like, that's something that comes out of culture, you know? Where was I? I'm so far behind. Fuck. Okay, let me keep going. I'm so far behind. Let's keep going. No, it was Rooney Mara. That was Rooney Mara. Rooney Mara was in The Social Network. I've seen it like a million times. Zendaya's white mom with the I fuck black men haircut. I went to school with girls like Rico. Is also thinking the bullying made them special. Black American and Puerto Rican is a common mixture out here. No, I know it was Rooney Mara, Davey. It was definitely Rooney Mara. Hallie can stay. Hallie can stay. I have a friend like that rarely mentions being half black, even though she's visibly so. She just reps light-skinned black, even being mostly raised by her mom. Lauren London has a recent interview where she states that she grew up as a black woman and that it is so strange how people are trying to push a biracial identity on her now. Right, Xavier. I feel like people are really trying to like push like as if all biracial and mixed people are all the same and they all about to get kicked out, you know? Like Lauren London's whole life she's been seen as black. She's never identified, you know, she's never identified as mixed. She's never identified as biracial. She never talks about her father, never posts him, nothing. Never dated no white men, you know. She got 2 kids by 2 niggas, rappers, like none of that. But now people trying to like put this, you know, you're not black, you're biracial. Like it's weird. I mean, she is biracial, but like if she identifies as like a black woman, a mixed black woman, she's visibly black. Like y'all can't put that on her because you've decided that you don't like biracials and they're all getting kicked off, you know, the train or whatever. It's weird to me. And like I said, it's a slippery slope. Like, because I've also seen people equating like all light skin to being mixed, all black Americans to being mixed. It's eugenics. It's weird as fuck. Yara doesn't bother me at all. She's biracial, but she doesn't look biracial. She also identifies as black. And Yara Shahidi's not light skinned either. So we're not watching anything, Shim Jim. We couldn't get the movie to work, and we got to talking about this whole Doja Cat situation, and we're still chatting. My little brother looked biracial, but he's not. It's crazy. Pharrell has like that old line, like how we both black, but our son is biracial. Because people always used to say he was like Blasian, and he was like, I'm not Blasian. Like, I'm not mixed. I'm black. Stop saying that. I'm a light bright, and people don't even think I'm black. Keisha Cole is not mixed. Keisha Cole wanted to be mixed. She claimed she had an Italian daddy, which was bullshit. She's like the reverse Jessica Alba. Like, Jessica Alba wanted to be black so bad. She swore she had some black in her until she got that DNA test. Keisha Cole was like the reverse. She swore she was mixed. No, liar. Bye, Alexia. Keisha thinks she's mixed. She doesn't know her father. Keisha's just black American. She thought she was half Italian. Thing is, a lot of people are utilizing eugenics to talk about race when racial identity has so many factors. You guys know, I've always said for me, it's phenotype over genotype. Logic and J. Cole can have the exact same racial admixture, but to me, Logic is white and J. Cole is black. Period. Period. For me. That's it. Tia and Tamara, exactly the same. To me, Tia is black, Tamara is white. That's it. I'm not feeling non-black Americans talking about the one drop rule, like, not at all. Right, they don't even understand the way that, like, race and shit is, like, constructed in this country. Like, you have a lot of people throwing their 2 cents in. They're not even from the United States. I have a problem with that, too. Like, don't get on YouTube talking about, you know, this, and this when you're in your British accent. Shut the fuck up. Or, you know, like, you're fucking Caribbean. Shut up. You don't even know how we do things here. Prince had black parents. I knew somebody was going to bring up Prince. They tried to say Prince wasn't black. That Prince was mixed, biracial, and this and that and the third. Like, people are embracing certain things that's going to end up biting a lot of motherfuckers in the ass in the long run. They just don't know it yet. I just had this argument also. Three generations back, she's black, but my friend says she's mixed. Girl always has to show her parents. Right, like, it's weird. I mean, Kid Cudi has his mom is black and his father was a Blaxican, a Afro-Mexican. A white guy on Twitter tweeted at Steph Curry's sister that he is great because of his whiteness, and she tweeted him in return that they are not white. The white guy then brought up their complexion. And white people are going to start getting more and more bold to say this, because you have all these people talking about they light skin, so they must be black people talking about they light skin, so they must be mixed, they biracial. No, it doesn't work like that. The thing is, where do Creole people fall into these? I've also seen people use this argument against Beyonce and Solange. Oh, Beyonce and Solange are mixed. They're not black. Listen, black Americans need to be very careful embracing, you know, this ideology of like all light-skinned people are biracial and therefore not black. That's just going to come around and bite motherfuckers in the ass, and then they're going to be hurt. I remember I got into a back and forth about Prince and Michael Jackson. Someone had the nerve to claim they weren't full black. You're right, it's a slippery slope when it comes to that. I thought I was the only one noticing the push to have light-skinned black people be biracial or mixed or whatever. And the next step is going to be all black Americans are mixed and are therefore not black. Like I said, did a whole video on it. So all y'all black Americans getting on this wave, you better be careful. Sonya Curry is from West Virginia. She's black American to the bone. Doja can't blame her self-hatred and anti-blackness on her father. She's grown enough and smart enough to understand the larger implications of race and black struggle, etc. She does have personal problems. I remember... Oh, look, Xavier, I just got to your comment. I remember seeing a thread arguing that Beyonce is not black but mixed. See? A lot of lighter-skinned African Americans are from West Virginia. My father's people came from there, and they're all light-skinned. Thank you, Bailey. Love your videos about dating. It's just like... It's true. That's the world we live in. It's a risk. Tia and Tamara need to be a case study. Yeah, Pete Wines from Fall Out Boy. His mom was black. She's Jamaican. Him and his sister... because it was just posted in Discord. I'm going to show y'all a picture. Him and his sister got the exact same face. Except he looks white and she don't look white. Let me see. Can y'all see that? Ooh, no. I don't think you... Oh, damn. I don't know if y'all can see it. Can y'all see it? Can y'all see it? Ooh, wait, no. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm trying to show y'all. Pete and his sister. It's like out. Google it and you can see it. Google Pete Wines and his sister. I'm trying to show y'all. It's like not cooperating. Let me try it this way. That's his sister right there. She looked just like him. They got the same face. Wild. I was literally just looking at this because we were talking about it in Discord. Yes, he is mixed. His mom is black. She is Jamaican. He nicely was white his whole life. Him and his sister got the same mom, same dad. It was like all this controversy because Perez Hilton published that picture and said like, oh, is he dating some black girl? And he was like, that's my sister. And everybody was like, what? And he was like, yeah, my mom's Jamaican. And everybody was like, what? So, you just never know. This is real life. Racism does not end just because you fall in love with or start families with people of another race. Oh, the Smollett's white daddy passed. I didn't know that. Slash was biracial. No wonder he got the sauce. Or the Joneses, Rashida and Khadijah could be another case study. Yeah. That's what I'm worried about if I open... Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Not that I'm advising you, Nicole. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it personally. I believe the Smollett's idea is black. Yeah. Slash is biracial. He ain't dead. I really respect Zendaya for how she handled the role of Aaliyah. What are y'all's thoughts about the further analysis on how biracial kids with white moms have further identity issues? I do agree that culture is usually, not, all the time, but I do agree that culture is usually, most of the time, passed down by the mother, by the woman, and so I do think it has a huge impact on how you're raised. But again, I also feel like, especially when we're talking about white parents and white moms, if you're being raised by a white racist, you can go two ways, like J. Cole. You can go left and realize, the truth about white people. I feel like, for example, J. Cole feels like he knows white people better than anybody else, and this is why he goes, like, so hard, because it's like, I'm intimately acquainted with, like, racism from the time I was a child. I'm against that shit. And then you have some people that go alt-right, and they embrace the racism as, like, their culture or whatever. I think it plays out one way or the other. When your predominant caregiver is white, and especially a white racist. I do think it makes a difference when you have a black mom. I feel like, even though I know, like, everybody hates Meghan Markle, I feel like Meghan Markle has, like, a black mom, and, like, her black mother, along with, like, her white family being trash, impacted her. No, it didn't stop her from motherfucking marrying a white man. But I do think, like, she never hid her mom. Like, she never seemed ashamed. And she could pass, So, it just depends. I remember Zendaya saying how she's become very conscious of not taking roles from black women and instead going in roles originally meant for white women. I hate that. I was called generationally mixed a while back. Really? Girl interrupted. You see? People better chill. Zendaya seems to mind her business most of the time, but then again, I don't really follow her career. People are so interesting. Having a racist parent is definitely going to affect you. Let's see. I know a guy who's half Jamaican, half Japanese. He's very dark-skinned with 4C hair. No one believed that he was telling the truth about being mixed until a family friend confirmed his dad was Japanese. And this is also why I think people need to be careful, because you have people who will say that a whole family of light-skinned black Americans is not black, right? Because they're light-skinned, they have to be biracial and therefore not black or whatever. But then you have, like, darker-skinned mixed-race people that people don't even believe. Like, a lot of this just boils down to, like, again, like, genotype versus phenotype. In the South, light skin tends to equal house. In the South, light skin tends to equal house nigga. Absolutely facts about shame. My great grandmother was light skinned, born in Alabama, and had 19 kids, and literally praised her dark skinned child that looked just like her. Right, like, especially in the South, like, the lighter skin is seen as shameful. It's not seen as something you want. But again, we have people that's not black Americans that don't know nothing about our culture chiming in with their 2 cents and having influence, and that's what I don't like. And having people picking up on these ideas without really thinking about them, and that's what I do not like. That's that shit I don't like. My great-grandma had 2 sets of children when she was married twice. One with a Filipino man who died, the other with a black man. And then it's like, and again, it bothers me personally that I don't give no shits about the Curry family, period. But, like, it annoys me that people will be like, the Currys are not black, they're light-skinned, so they're automatically mixed biracial, and that automatically makes them not black. But then they'll be like, Bruno Mars is Afro-Puerto Rican. That shit makes me want to fucking scream. Like, niggas is so selective, and y'all can't say that they're not. So selective. I really feel like there's also a lot of picking on people that motherfuckers just straight up don't like, and they don't want to admit it. Like, I've seen people really go hard, like Beyonce and Solange are mixed, but Bruno and Cardi B are black. Like, it's not cool. I don't like being a light bright. I was thinking of doing the same thing because I want my children to have melanin. I felt bad for thinking that way. I wouldn't feel bad. I feel like it's a relevant thought. It's a fun. When you're thinking about having kids, you got to think about everything because you're literally like creating life. Like you're bringing life into the world that didn't ask to be here and is gonna have to deal with all your choices and decisions. So I don't think it's like bad to think about. That's a whole video, wanting to darken the lineage by marrying darker, keeping it a certain way. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Let me screenshot. Maybe I'll do a video on that. And like I said, that's culture. People just don't be knowing. I think Malcolm X's mom was also a product of rape and chose a really dark black man for the same reason. Yep, and she said it. She said that. That's also why she got like really into like black politics. And also after his father was lynched. Oh no, I'm not talking about Doja. I'm not talking about Doja how she identifies. I'm just talking in general. I do think, I think people should be allowed to. I do think people should be allowed to speak for themselves. And like that's what I was saying. Like Lauren London identifies as black, and now people trying to put like a biracial thing like on her. Doja Cat clearly identifies as I don't know what. And I don't want to think about whatever it is. She's lost in the sauce. She's canceled. But for the people that do identify as black and look black, are visibly black, I don't think it's fair. Twitter woke-activists want to press every biracial, light-skinned black person about their blackness, but will defend Cardi's blackness tooth and nail because they like her. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I also feel like this projection of biracial identity on people who are visibly black and ideas such is due to foreign blacks injecting their ideas of race into our combos. Yes, I agree too. That's what I said in my video. So I think my video is called like skin color. It's called skin color versus ethnicity or something like that. It's like the idea of blackness in Nigeria is not going to be the same as blackness in Barbados, which is not going to be the same as blackness in London, which is not going to be the same as blackness in the United States. And yet people are trying to like inject themselves into our United States conversations on blackness and like question all these things, and they don't even understand the way that blackness operates in this country. And that's why I have an issue. That's why I have an issue, you know? I've had like a certain Caribbean tell me that I can't talk about, they feel like I can't talk about racial stuff because I'm a black American and I'm mixed. That means I'm mixed. I was like, the fuck? You got me fucked up. I beat the shit out of you. You get a good old-fashioned black American beat down, and then we'll see. I don't see the need to slap a label of biracial or multiracial on these folks. I feel like if you're visibly black, you're black. It's also fine to identify as a black biracial or a mixed black. Some people just code different. Cat Graham too. She's mixed, but don't look it. My grandparents would get mistaken for an interracial couple. Jessica Alba is a motherfucking Caucasian. Caucasian. When I was little, I was lighter and people thought I was mixed. My mom was quick to correct them. When I was 6 or 7, I got a tan in the summer that stuck, and no one ever questioned my monoracialness again. Jessica Alba looked so disappointed with her test results. She swore she had a little something. And we always talk about the funniest part is that her husband, Cash Warren, actually does have his father is black. Like, he does have a black parent, but he looks straight up white. I know there was some fights. I know there was some fights in the Alba Warren household. I know there were. Jessica Alba was like, I thought we were in this together. Cash Warren was like, I'm sorry, sweetie. You're white. Like, deal with it. That's from The Craft. I had a friend who swore Russell Wilson was half Filipino until I was like houseway. Both his parents are from Virginia. Let's not even get into how people like, I've seen people say Russell Wilson is mixed because he has curly hair. let's not even get into how people feel like if you don't have like quote unquote nappy hair and all this other stuff, you can't be black, because a lot of people attribute what they would call quote unquote negative features and stereotypes to blackness. And if you don't have those, they'll say you're not black, which says more about them than it does about the person. I remember when Halle Berry said her mother told her to look in the mirror and asked her what she saw. She said, "I see a black girl," and her mom said, "That's what you are." Jessica Alba's world was crushed when she found out she was white. There's so much eugenics rhetoric in all this. One of my fave Twitch streamers is Pretty Light, but she has 2 black parents. People ask her in her stream if she's biracial all the time. It's cringy. Don't come into my house telling me how everything works. Prince addressed this all in his music. No, Jessica Alba is not half black Latina. She thought she was. Prince confused people with Purple Rain. He had black and white parents in the Purple Rain movie, and they got confused because they thought it was, they thought it was autobiographical, but like, it was a movie. Let's see. Everybody's gonna be black. If the government puts up reparations, Creole people are black American. Purple Rain didn't help Prince's situation. I feel like the reason why this convo keeps coming up... Wait. Okay, wait. I also feel like the reason why this convo keeps coming up, but people say we need to have more conversations around telling biracial people that they're biracial, especially phenotypically, because a lot of black American women are speaking out how they are not being represented properly. I agree that there needs to be more conversation. Okay, I don't know if I agree with we need to tell biracial people that they're biracial. I think they know they're biracial. They know who their parents are. I don't know if I don't know, maybe I'm like reading into your wording there wrong, but I don't think I don't know. I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to like go sit in Lauren London's like comments and be like, you're biracial, right? She knows she's biracial. That's something I've literally seen. Like, I've seen her like post like, Slauson stuff, or like, Compton, LA, this and that, and people be like, you're biracial, like this is not for you. She knows. I don't think we need to tell biracial people that they're biracial in order to have a conversation about black American woman representation. I don't feel that that's the right way, my opinion. I don't know if I feel like that's the right way to go about having the conversation of let's talk about black American woman representation. To me, that's very like Lana Del Rey adjacent of like, I have an issue with the way that I was received for my quote unquote femininity, so I'm gonna like talk bad about these other women. I feel like, speak for yourself. Like there is an issue with the way that like black women and black American women are like portrayed in the media. Absolutely. Let's talk about it. That doesn't mean we have to go tell biracial people they're biracial. They know. I've only heard it used with B. They seem to forget about Solange. I always think about Zoe Kravitz. Both her parents are biracial, but she was raised by 2 black identified parents. Niggas trying to throw people away, disowning them. We don't need that. I feel like black American women just want to see more of themselves, especially in entertainment. I agree, but I also disagree, because I don't think it's just that black, like, I agree, but I also disagree, because number one, you do have light-skinned black American women. So now we're talking about colorism, for example. You have light-skinned black American women that are not mixed. If you put a light-skinned black American woman in a movie, and she's like the only thing you see in a bunch of movies, right? You still have an issue with colorism. Even though she's not mixed and she's not biracial, you're still going to have an issue with colorism. Still. Even though she's fully black American, right? So that's what I mean when I say we start getting into conversations where people are confusing ethnicity, race, nationality, colorism, all these things are getting confused to the point where now we're making an equation of, well, all light-skinned women are mixed and they're all biracial and they're all not Black American. That's not the case. If you get a Black American, light-skinned, fully Black American, which is why I said, like, pick somebody, Nicole Ari Parker, for example. Like, when you have her in all the movies, Nicole Ari Parker, fully Black American, light eyes and all that, if you have her in all of the roles, we still have an issue that needs to be talked about in terms of colorism. We still have an issue that needs to be talked about in terms of representation, even though she's not biracial. Making it a problem of just, well, it's just biracials that are the problem. I feel like that's still skirting around the issue, which is colorism. You know? Like, that's still skirting around the issue. And when I did my video on skin color versus ethnicity, I used The Rock as an example. Because they were doing that, that fucking, now I can't think of the name of the movie, the Steel movie or whatever, John Henry. They were doing like the John Henry movie, and people were saying that they wanted Winston Duke. I said, no, I don't want Winston Duke. Winston Duke is like, I think he's like a Black Brit. Like, he's a foreign Black. I was like, I don't want Winston Duke. I was like, I don't want fucking The Rock either, really. I was like, I want a dark-skinned Black American. I don't, like, they act like all the dark-skinned people are foreign. Like, I want a dark-skinned Black American. I don't necessarily want no light skin. I don't want necessarily no foreign Black. I don't necessarily want no mixed race person. Like, y'all act like dark-skinned, fully Black Americans don't exist. That's just annoying. Like, that's just problematic. I hate the word problematic, but it's like really a problem. It's a problem. And I definitely feel like people have injected themselves into this conversation and they got the whole perspective of the conversation fucked up completely. The Rock's movie is something different and it's still coming out. Winston Duke's from Trinidad? Okay, thank you. Why do people think dark-skinned Black American women don't exist? Thank you! I hate when people conflate the light-skinned Black woman and mixed woman narrative. They overlap but not the same. Right. I want to see dark-skinned Black American woman representation. Period. When you give me Lupita Nyong'o in a movie, cool. I don't feel represented. It's cool that she's dark-skinned. It's great. It's amazing. When you give me a whole dark-skinned Black family, but it's played by Winston Duke and Lupita and this, that, and the third, great. It's great that they're dark-skinned. I still don't feel represented because I'm a Black American. They supposed to be playing Black American families. They got Howard shirts. You know, Howard's DC. They got Howard shirts on and stuff. But they still look crazy. I hate the word crazy, so I'm really, you know, like me using that like I'm being very serious. They still look crazy because they're not one of us in terms of ethnicity. So y'all turning it into just some, well, no, we're talking about representation. No. It's still, we still have issues with representation even if you're going with darker skinned foreign Blacks. It's still a problem. I want to see dark-skinned Black American representation, period. Like, period. The model industry, too, they barely have dark-skinned Black Americans. Barely. All the models is either foreign or light-skinned mixed. To me, just speaking for myself, all the shit that people say about the biracials and, like, the mixed people could be said for the dark-skinned foreign Blacks as well. Like Black Americans, like, are being erased in more ways than one. So for y'all to just try to blame it on, like, the light-skinned people and, like, the biracials and the mix, I feel like is, like, intellectually dishonest. Y'all are letting, like, other people get off with shit that, like, they should, because a lot of, like, the dark-skinned foreign Blacks talk about us exactly the same anyway, but y'all don't care because they're dark-skinned. I don't think that's fair. Black American women are still seen as angry, criminal, militant, or promiscuous, rarely an admirable portrayal. Like, it was, like, when I did my review of Us, it was people that's like, I don't understand why you're upset. Like, we're finally getting dark-skinned representation. I was like, they're clearly supposed to be playing Black Americans, and they're not. What are y'all talking about? Like, it's more than skin color when we talk about representation. Oh, why are you upset about, you know, the lead on whatever, you know, like, pick something. Like, no. Fashion as well. So many fashion designers getting hype aren't Black Americans. Like, for me, y'all know how I feel. Like, it's Black Americans first. For me. For me. You know, like, so if I have a choice between, I can speak for myself. If I have a choice between, like, a dark-skinned foreign black and a light-skinned or a mixed-race biracial Black American that still IDs as black, is visibly black, whatever you want to call it, like, I'm going to go with the Black American. Like, if I have to pick between Lupita playing a Black American in Us and Journey Smollett playing a Black American in Lovecraft Country. Journey Smollett, who's been nothing but respectful, who's done nothing but respectful roles that are done in a really good way, going back to Eve's Bayou, again, Underground, all her roles where she's, like, explored blackness and things of that nature. Like, I'm gonna go with Journey. But it's gonna be people that's like, they don't want Journey because she's light-skinned, she's biracial, this, that, and the third. They feel like Lupita would be the win. I just don't feel that way. Like, I want Black American representation. That's what I want. And I really want dark-skinned Black American representation because people really act like all Black Americans are light-skinned or mixed. And we're not. It's Black American first for me, too. I'll always put ethnicity over everything. It's ethnic erasure. Exactly, Queen. But then people will be like, well, we're talking about, you know, we want to see Black American women and see Black women getting more representation. That's how we have a problem with the biracials. Lupita and tons of other dark-skinned women is still not representation for us, but y'all do not pick on them the same. I'm just calling it how I see it. Show more dark-skinned Black Americans. We exist. Let me go back because, like, I'm way far behind in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, the issue I have being from Texas but living in Jersey, people ask me my ethnicity. Am I Jamaican, Haitian, or Continental? But I'm Black American. I always forget Pete Wines is mixed. There, y'all just seen the pictures. Genetics is so uncertain. I only found out Pete Wines was half black a few years ago. My mom is light as well, but she ain't biracial. She just hopped out the gene pool that way. 3 of her 4 siblings are on the browner side of the Black American color spectrum. Pete Wines was pressing his hair. He put that flat iron to work. Hi, Bambusa. I've met so many people who have the same exact parents as their siblings and all come out looking different. Genetics are uncanny. My mom is light-skinned. My dad is dark-skinned. I know many people from NOLA. And it's like, NOLA is like a prime example of, like, NOLA is really a prime example of, like, melting pot culture. Like, if you don't understand the culture of NOLA, like, you don't understand, like, the racial constructs. Even going back to those, like, balls. Now I can't think of the name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, if you don't know how shit happens in NOLA and the way that shit goes down, and then you're all the way over in the UK, but, like, you're a dark-skinned, you know, black woman, so you feel like you can, like, hop on the internet and say, like, Beyonce's mixed. She's not black. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Seriously. Shut up. Bye, Mr. Goldstein. Hi, Alex. I know I'm late. I'm like, behind the chat. Bye, 7. I just feel like that's how we got so many cultural interlopers. We keep giving keys to people, later find out they weren't raised right. I agree with that. Slash and Lenny Kravitz went to high school together in LA. They both have white fathers and Black American mothers and both became famous rock stars. It also appears that a bunch of people who are not even American are pushing the narrative against light-skinned black people not being black. Meghan Markle also made sure there was a black preacher and black choir members, etc. at her wedding to a British prince. Yes, it's definitely black foreigners saying that garbage. Phenotype matters. I think it also makes a difference when the white mom is racist towards her own child. My cousin's friend doesn't fuck with white folks at all because their racist mom abandoned them to find a rich white man. In the South, lighter skin is shameful and then also aspired. The duality of it all is so tricky. I agree, Queen, yeah. And a lot of it, too, boils down to, like, your family and how you're raised. Like, you have some families that feel like... I love If Beale Street Could Talk. I feel like everyone should watch it. And it has Kiki Lane, dark-skinned black American. I love if Bill Street could talk, because they had like a situation that happened and they showed how like 2 different black American families handled it. Like when she got pregnant, her family, who was like black Americans, like they saw it as like a blessing, like a celebration. His family, who's also black Americans, but they were maybe a little bit more stuck up, a little bit more uppity, they seen it as like, oh my god, like the scandal. Like, you know, it's also a lot of it is like how you were raised, like what your what type of like morals and values your family had, all type of stuff within our culture. It's about how you pass and how people perceive you. Phenotype most definitely matters. Walking through life being seen as black is far different from walking through life being seen as white. That's why, like, you know, I've seen people, like, now kind of, like, get on Yara Shahidi. I don't even like Yara Shahidi. Y'all know I don't like blackish. Like, I don't like grownish. Like, none of that is my jam. But it's like, Yara Shahidi is not even light-skinned. Like, I do not think that Yara Shahidi has gone through her life, like, benefiting. Like, I just don't believe it. And so for people to now, again, like, sit in this girl's comments all day, like, you're not black, you're biracial. Like, y'all don't even know, like, Yara Shahidi might have been called all kind of nigger, this, that, and the third. Like, she's not passing. Like, it's just, it seems mean. A lot of this seems, like, mean. Like, mean-spirited. I don't like that. Don't debate this discussion with people that still use color, ethnicity, and race interchangeably. I only go after problematic biracials like Doja Cat. I've seen folks say that both Nicki and Beyonce were mixed. I was like, what? That sounds like my family. My dads are all light-skinned people from the deep south, Georgia. My mom's side is all dark-skinned from southwest Atlanta. I also knew a guy that was mixed black and Japanese, dark-skinned in school. Other kids roasted homie and called him a weebo until his dad came to school for PTO, and he looked like his dad but darker. Rihanna will block you for calling her mixed. Yeah. Emily King, Kat Graham, Logan Browning also are non-confrontational. It's crazy how some people you wouldn't know of their background until you do research. Yeah. That's fair. Darker Than the Line is playing the same game, just the opposition. That's fair. Fair. Very fair. Very fair commentary right there, King Dynamite. People really don't understand black American people and culture. Missing absentee white ancestors do not make black Americans mixed. You can't ignore our history, willful ignorance. I totally agree. Like Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt was like a product of rape. Period. Like point blank period. Like her black American mother was raped by a white man. I find it so offensive. Like, and fucking Harry Belafonte, who people worship, right, as like a civil rights activist. Harry Belafonte looked Eartha Kitt right dead in her face and said, like, you're a black woman and a black woman can't do nothing for me. But like by today's 2020 standards that a lot of people are trying to set, people will fucking walk up to Eartha Kitt and be like, you're not black, you're biracial. I find that to be just, it makes my head spin with like how offensive that is. With Rihanna, I also think it has a lot to do with Rihanna having green eyes. A lot of people correlate colored eyes to being mixed as well. They were just arguing about Ashanti, which is false. Which again, and I also feel like that's getting into like Ashanti has like quote unquote like good hair, and she has like certain features, like she can't be fully black American and shit like that. Like she has to be mixed. There's like a lot of like weird reverse people picking shit up and like putting it on each other. Shit they picked up, I don't know, they picked it up from white supremacy and they like put it down, like the big Joker and shit. Like put it down and leave it down, please. Don't come back. So Adele and Justin Timberlake can be honorary black, Cardi B and Bruno, but biracials have to be biracial specifically and not black at all. And light-skinned black people like Beyonce are mixed. It doesn't make sense. Speaking of black, I literally just had a Nigerian man tell me I wasn't black yesterday. I'm just saying, I'll beat the shit out of you. I'm just saying. They got the game all fucked up. Jessica Alba would have got to stay in Spain in 1492. She need to stop. Jessica Alba was like, I'm black. The test results, the lie detector test determined that was a lie. They'll drag Jesse Williams, but Cardi B and Bruno Mars get invited to the cookout. Right, like there's something that seems very like deliberate about like who they pick. I don't have combos with my roommate anymore about this. He's biracial and injects his British and Nigerian ideas on Black American race dynamics. People swear hair texture is a definite identifier of race. They really tried passing Jessica Alba off as the ethnic friend back in the day. People think hair texture and having a booty is a race identifier. Right? Exactly. Purple Rain was supposed to star John Travolta, okay? They have to stop. You think whenever Jessica gets into a fight with her husband, he calls her Becky Karen or says he wouldn't understand you're white. I hope he does! It's just so funny to me, like, the racial dynamic of Jessica Alba and her husband. Because her husband looks straight up white. Like, he's not passing at all. But he looks exactly like his father, who was, like, a black actor. And I know she also thought, like, that she was, like, the same as him. And it turns out she's not. I know they get into arguments all the time. I know they do. He'd just be like, whatever, white girl. And then she'd be like, how dare you? Oh, I love it. That's why Keisha Cole thought she was mixed race, because she had a wave in her hair. I see you, keep making. I see you. I agree with you about the phenotype over genotype conversation. Like, let's talk more about that, because at the end of the day, I have, like, a very old video on, like, the N-word, where I said, like, you know, people that phenotypically, because, like, even if you want to get into, like, race is, like, visual, you know, like, a lot of, like, the way that we, especially here in the United States, like, a lot of the way that we play back and forth on race is, like, phenotype. Like, you're phenotypically judged, you know? And so it's just, like, if somebody's, like I said, like, I'm sure Yara Shahidi's probably been called a nigger. Like, she can't avoid that. Her having, like, an Armenian father doesn't take away from how she looks. Just like it doesn't take away from how Logic looks, you know? Like, I got really offended by Logic, because Logic was like, you know, me and, like, my friends, you know, we all got into trouble together, you know, like, we was all doing the same shit together, like, what, people trying to, like, deny me, whatever, and it was like, sir, but what you're leaving out is that when you and your fucking niggas get lined up in front of a judge, you're white, like, it don't matter that y'all was all doing the same thing, like, you're 3 fucking niggas standing next to you that are visibly black, just off the looks, like, they're gonna get more time than you. They're going to get, you know, they're going to get harder time. They're going to send to prison. Like, you're probably going to get let off with a slap on the wrist because you're white. You look white. It doesn't matter. The judge going to look at you. He's going to see his son, or, you know, he's going to see this person, that person. He's going to look at your 3 niggas standing next to you. They're going to be the ones that pulled this poor white boy into some shit. Like, your genotype don't matter. Your phenotype. How do you look? I don't know. People feel like that's not fair. That's just how I feel. I feel like calling biracial people biracial specifically is a separation tactic. That's actually divisive. Jessica Alba's husband be like, you can have all the attitude in the world, but you will never be a black or brown woman. And this whole wave, it's this whole wave of the idea of mixing that they want to erase our full blackness. That argument is hypocritical to me, because these are the same people that will feel seen by Lupita Nyong'o and Daniel Kaluuya playing Black Americans. Right. Yeah, like, y'all will allow a dark-skinned, like, black, a foreign black to, like, totally disrespect the fuck out of you, and then cheer when they get a fucking role playing a Black American because they're, like, not biracial. It's weird. It's weird. Like, it's really weird. I don't know what people really want. Like, what do y'all really want in terms of, like, let's say representation and stuff? Like, what do we want? So we just want to see more black faces, or, like, more dark-skinned faces? Like, what is it? What do people want? I want to see more honest representation. Like, period. I want to see, like, dark-skinned Black Americans. I want to see Black Americans in Black American roles. I want to see us, and not just, like, and outside of entertainment. I want to see us getting what we are owed everywhere. Like, and that's what I'm about. And I've, like, never switched up on that. I feel like other groups are trying to blur the line of Black Americanness as a way to copy and paste themselves into our culture easier. I agree. Like, you have people that will stand up here and they'll be like, well, I'm more of a Black American than Beyonce because I was born in America to Nigerian parents and I'm dark skinned. So I'm more blacker than her. And I was born in America, so, like, I'm more Black American than her. Like, she's mixed. She's not even Black. That is a slippery slope. Like, y'all gotta be careful messing around with that type of rhetoric. The powers that be are attempting to muddy the waters to cause issues for that reparations conversation. Yes, with Lupita, she's become the standard for what Blackness means. I think it has more to do with Black women wanting to see more representation in the form of a visibly unquestionable monoracial actress. And I get that, and I agree that, like, we need more dark-skinned representation, but I'm not just gonna blindly say yes to anybody. Like, Daniel Caesar's dark-skinned, and he still hopped his ass up there defending Yes Jules and shitting on Black people, talking about, well, cancel me then. Him being unquestionably dark-skinned and monoracial is not enough. It's not enough if you're a trash human being. Like, if the light-skinned trash human beings can get canceled, the biracial trash human beings could get canceled, the dark-skinned trash human beings could get canceled. Like, anybody could get canceled in these streets. That's how I think it should be, like, for it to be fair. Everybody should be equally at risk of getting motherfucking canceled. Throw everybody under the jail. Like, if you're trash, you're trash. That's it. Which I've literally seen people say, like, well, I don't like that Daniel Caesar said it. I don't like that what Daniel Kaluuya said. I don't like what this person or that person said, but I'm still going to support because, you know, I want to see dark-skin representation or whatever. And, like, I can't stop anybody from feeling that way because, like, I understand wanting to see that type of representation, but I'm not going to let nobody shit on me, my people, my ethnicity, Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, period. Period. Nobody. I don't give a fuck. Why do people think dark-skinned Black American women don't exist? Because it's a double-edged sword. I feel like right now at this moment in pop culture, it's a double-edged sword. All of our representation is either light-skinned Black Americans, be it they're light-skinned or they're biracial, or if they're dark-skinned, they're foreign Blacks. There's no in-between, so people think we don't exist. People act like Viola, Trevante, Rutina, Camille Wimbush don't exist. They always avoid casting a dark or brown-skinned Black American. They cast everybody but. They act like they can't find dark-skinned Black Americans. We had so many dark-skinned American actors back in the day. I've been felt like we're being erased. Lupita is Kenyan Mexican. Like, she's still... This whole light-skin versus biracial thing is why a lot of Black American girls are going hard for Normani. Normani! Prime example of a dark-skinned Black American. Again, like I said, Kiki Lane. Like, they're out there. Like, we are out there. Model industry too. Barely have dark-skinned Black Americans. I need to see descendants of American chattel slavery. I don't see how Aldous Hodge couldn't be John Henry. My mom thought I was insane for saying Lupita wasn't representation for dark-skinned Black Americans. She literally didn't understand. She said, well, at least she's dark. The modeling industry favors foreign women so much. Race, ethnicity, and nationality are not interchangeable. And race, ethnicity, and nationality representation is important. And yeah, Black American women are still seen as angry, criminal, or militant. Or promiscuous, rarely an admirable portrayal. Yeah. Even in fashion, they try to say Black women aren't Black enough to represent Black beauty. They only want exotic, foreign Blacks. Rico Nasty. Like, no, I'm Puerto Rican. I did an episode of the Black Americans on this with my friend who's a model, but the footage got lost. And... my friend literally said, she was like that. So my friend is light-skinned. She's a light-skinned Black American. I've known her since like high school. We're like old friends. And we did an interview on this where she was like, it's hard to find a place in modeling because it's hard for her to find a place in modeling, like, as a Black American specifically, because she was like, they either want her to be mixed because she's light-skinned, they either want her to be mixed or they want her to say that she's, like, a foreigner. She said that she was, like, literally advised by her agent to say that she was either biracial or to say that she was, like, from another country. And she was like, but I'm not. Like, I'm a Black American. And they were like, that's not going to get you anywhere. Oh, Aldous Hodge is not Black American. Some of y'all said Haitian American. Fashion as well, too. So many fashion designers aren't getting hyped for BAs. The Black American experience is a specific and unique one. I think it also plays into the idea that all BAs are mixed when the only time we see dark-skinned people, they always happen to be foreign. Exactly, Vermilion Dynamo. People like to play dumb when it comes to race. Like that horrible Lena Waithe movie with no Black Americans as the leads. Right, and I said the same thing then. People were like, well, we should be happy because we're getting, like, representation of, like, a dark-skinned couple. I'm like, it's cool that there's representation of a dark-skinned couple. I do like that. But why are they stylized specifically as Black Americans? Like, you know, the lead girl, Lena Waithe, like, wrote, you know, she was a slave. She would have been out in the field, getting the whip cracked on her back by massa. She's only 1 or 2 generations removed from slavery, living in the South. You know, like... And then the male lead is wearing, like, velour jumpsuits and shit. You know, like, they're obviously being, like, stylized as Black Americans. Neither one of them is a motherfucking Black American. But I'm just supposed to be happy because, like, oh, they're dark-skinned. Like, it's cool that they're dark-skinned, but, like, why do they have to be stylized as Black American then? Like, why not just write, like, a story about, you know, whatever, people falling in love? You know, whatever. It's like something very insidious that's happening with the way that we are starting to have conversations about, like, race and skin color and ethnicity and nationality. It's like, and I think there's a lot of people that are, like, interjecting, again, like, things that are not, they don't know how shit works in the United States. There's a lot of, like, foreign Blacks throwing their 2 cents in, and, like, the colorism aspect of it, like, you know, again, even if we, like, removed all the motherfucking biracials out the paint, like, we still would have these same problems. Like, it seems like they're being scapegoated a little bit. Yes, our culture is survival, not tribal. Quote from Seren, Black American series. There are damn near 0 Black American designers getting pushed. Right, you know, but everybody's, like, operating in this space of, like, Black American culture. And that's something I've really been noticed. Like, everybody's operating in this space of, like, big gold hoop earrings and, like, balls in the hair and, like, long fingernails and, like, the way that things are being stylized and, like, the look, you know, the things that people are going for. But then you, like, go read about the designer and the designer is, like, from Senegal or something, you know? It's like, what is this? Very insidious. It's like a planned plot. Queen and Slim could have been a Black Brit love story. It all seems like it's a deliberate means of causing contention. I know I'm behind. Whoever did Super Chat, thank you. I'm so far behind. When I catch all the way up, we can end. Because I know I'm so far behind. I'm behind. I dated a girl who was modeling on the side and had a completely different foreign professional name. We had a whole convo about that. It's Black American first for me, too. I'll always put ethnicity over everything. Ethnic erasure. It's funny because us Jamaicans get mad when an American is in a Jamaican role. Yeah, but people don't care when it's the reverse. It's really hypocritical and says a lot about what we think of BA culture. Show more dark-skinned Black Americans. We exist. That's the part that people don't want to admit goes both ways. Every time I think of Lupita from Us, I think of the scene where she's telling her son to snap on beat, but she ain't even on beat. Okay, Shannon and Queen, I see y'all. The Black American series is amazing. Thank you. We're going to come back with a season 3, you know. It's on hold right now because of everything going on, but I do still have, luckily, extra episodes from season 2 as well as extras. So, can't wait. The Quadroon Balls. That's it. Quadroon Balls, Nola. Quadroon Balls. Debutante Balls. Yeah, we did. We talked about Doja. This is how we got onto what we're talking about now. But yeah, y'all know I'll leave this live up. Also, the Yvonne Orgies of the world. Her playing a BA is not a win for me. Both of them, and like, you know, even though I have heard that Insecure has gone a lot better, which I'm happy about. Hopefully Issa like heard a lot of the complaints and improved. But both of them, it's like Black American cosplay, like, ah, my nigga! It's like, oh my gosh, please stop. Please stop. Hi, Remy. My grandmother was a product of slave master and Native American kidnap and rape. Her complexion was exotic, 2 different color eyes and 3 hair colors. Black Americans are a rainbow. If Beale Street Could Talk is so wonderful, everyone watch it. Y'all know I stay in that movie so hard. Ooh! Yara is definitely not white passing. I was shocked when I found out Yara was mixed also. People gotta stop acting on their emotions. How at one point the colorism convos tend to come for just biracial celebs, as if full black celebs don't practice colorism as well, but they won't get the same recognition for it. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if we did kick out all the biracials, like, we would still have the issue of colorism, because fully black, light-skinned black people do still exist. The problem would still be there. I loved If Beale Street Could Talk. Beautifully told film. People think since Yara is slightly lighter than her mom that she's living in privilege. Keisha Cole's mom lied to her. Her father is a light-skinned black man from Oakland who's a boxing trainer. Ooh! T. Mary, thank you. I see it. Now I see you did super chat. Oh, and it's in pounds. Thank you, Mary. I was just about to mention Eartha Kitt. People also always thought Dorothy Dandridge wasn't full black. Yes! Yes, Harry Belafonte did say that. Please Google it. Please Google it. Eartha Kitt was trying to, like, marry this man. And he was like, a black woman can't do nothing for me. Literally what he said. He said that, wow, I feel dumb. Eartha Kitt was a prize who Harry did not deserve. Eartha's granddaughter is straight white girl. She's an actress on Broadway. Yeah, it was because, like, after the whole Harry Belafonte situation, Eartha Kitt, she married a white man. She was, like, traumatized. And she was already herself the product of rape, so I don't rock with Sidney Poitier or Belafonte for that reason. And they both aren't black Americans. Right. Like, so this is like a prime example. Because, correct me, but I believe Harry Belafonte is like some type of like West Indian. Correct me. But it's like here you have somebody that's not even a black American, but is quote unquote fully black, right? Harry Belafonte telling a biracial black woman, Eartha Kitt, that like her black ass can't do nothing for him, like, you know. But there's people that will say like, well, because she's a product of like a white rape, like, oh well, you know, that's fucked up to me. It's weird. If a biracial person tells me they're not black, I'm like, cool. If a visibly black biracial person tells me they're black, I'm cool with that too. Right, Remy, that's exactly how I feel. Like, that's exactly how I feel. Exactly. He's Caribbean black. Telling her you can't do nothing for me is wild. Hi, Kaylin. Thank you. You also did super chat. And your avatar is Moonlight. Dumbass woke this make my skin crawl. Wow, I had no idea Harry got down like that. That's fucked up. Y'all gotta read what Eartha said about the combo she had with Harry Belafonte. It was wild. It was totally wild. Eartha Kitt had a very difficult time in Hollywood. Logic ain't getting... Oh, Iranian. I'm sorry. I said Armenian. My bad. Logic ain't getting followed around in Whole Foods. Police ain't getting called on Logic for a loud argument in Walmart. He has no logic. Yup, Dick Logic. Remember? I was like, fucking Dick Logic. Black Americans have a wider variety of ethnic features than people realize or want to admit. And the U.S. being massive is one of them. Its distinction from other ethnicities and nationalities varies too. Yes, and I also think that that's something people don't really realize or talk about enough. Like, America's fucking huge. Like, we have a lot of variations in culture and ethnicity. My thing is, does your community claim you? Nicole Bahari, it's about lineage, not skin color. Thank you, Bree. I'm trying my best. Where we need Black Americans, all of us, but definitely dark-skinned ones, in front of and behind the camera. BA directors, producers, writers, etc. Bring more content created by us for us. That's why I'm really looking forward to like Lovecraft Country, like Jonathan Majors, Journey Smollett, Misha Green, like. Now Jordan Peele is producing, but hopefully he's not like, you know, too much. But like I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be really exceptional. I'm tired of seeing Africans playing Black Americans. Yeah, especially just because their skin is darker. Black American actors and actresses, please keep the Black casting standards. In an interview, Chadwick Boseman tried to call out how other groups in the diaspora disrespect us as a group while using our culture, and Lupita tried to shut him down, saying she made a movie about slavery. You see, like, and that's what I'm not with. I love Chadwick Boseman, and he just looks so tired these days. He just looks like... I know people were like, there was like rumors that people thought he was on drugs or something. I think he's just exhausted from fame. I don't think it's agreeing with him. I don't, and somebody said like the one drop rule again, like in terms of the, I guess I don't believe in the one drop rule. Maybe, I don't know. For me, it's like it's phenotype versus genotype. How do you look? Like, quote unquote, by the one drop rule, like Logic is like Black, but I think Logic is white. To me, it's how you look. So like, Logic is white, J. Cole is Black, Halsey is white, Yara Shahidi is Black. You know, that's how it is to me. I forgot about Daniel Caesar salad since we canceled him. A lot of these unquestionably Black foreign Blacks are... Hi, Richie. Foreign Blacks are working against us. Right, and I agree with that too. Like, you don't get to have no opinion on Black American culture, as far as I'm concerned. Lupita lacks the nationality to connect culturally without Googling how to be a Black American. That's a rumor. So there's this rumor going around about Armani that she's like Nigerian. No one has ever been able to prove that. And if she were a first-gen Nigerian, you can like look up her parents. If she were a first-gen Nigerian, that would mean her parents are Nigerian. Her parents are not Nigerian. You can like look them up. It doesn't matter. Right, Kimberly. Equal opportunity cancellations all around. Like, I will cancel anybody. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter what your complexion is. Disrespect is disrespect, period. The only person that I kind of won't cancel is Azealia Banks. She's canceled, but I just love her. Like, I'm sorry. I think that she's a genius and she has problems. But, like, she's right more often than not. She's like the only person that's like truly problematic that I just can't bring myself to cancel. It's weird too because there's a whole wave of people getting rich off portraying Black American women. Yeah, I agree. But Black women still struggle to get roles. Normani, Tiana Paris. The dark-skinned models we do get are usually non-American, even Naomi Campbell. I literally went to college with so many talented and beautiful Black descendants of American chattel slavery with flawless dark skin, and they can't get cast. And they cannot get cast. Salah and the Spades. Yeah, YA. Who are we talking about? I don't know who y'all talking about. Something got removed. Dark-skinned models are a lot from Kenya and places like that because it's cheaper for European companies. I heard that too. They tell models to lie and say they're foreigners. Oh, you're talking about the lead of Salah and the Spades. The lead of Salah and the Spades is not Black American. She's Ghanaian. Yeah, I heard that too. They tell models to lie and say they're foreigners. Wild, interesting. Yep. They tell them to lie and say they're foreigners or that they're mixed. And I feel like I've said this before. It's wild to me to see, like, dark-skinned foreign blacks, like, pointing the finger at, like, mixed people and being like, you're not black. You're not a black American. And then I see, like, visibly black, you know, like, biracials being like, you're not a black American. You can't tell me. You guys know I've said before, like, mixed people versus, like, foreign blacks to me is like that Spider-Man meme. Like, both of y'all need to motherfucking sit down. And we need to get some dark-skinned black Americans casting some shit. That's literally what Lena Waithe said. That's what she wrote. You could Google it. I mean, she didn't say, like, Massa would be cracking the whip. But she did say that, like, she would be out in the field. Like, she would be a field slave. Normani is black American, but this keeps coming up. No one has proof or receipts to prove the claim. Queen and Slim could have been a black Brit love story. This is a deliberate means of causing contention. Black American is probably the richest black group of consumers worldwide. I definitely think there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now to, like, cause confusion with, like, colorism and, like, all that mix, like, all that. You know, it's really interesting because Africans usually climb the social mobility ladder because they benefit off of programs intended for black Americans. Yes, I have a whole series of videos about this, starting with the We're Different video. They're all in the BA Gang playlist. Hashtag BA Gang playlist. Go look them up. Have a whole series of videos where I talk about this in depth. I also did some literature for it. I wrote about it for Riot, where I talk about it in depth. Queen and Slim could have taken place across the pond instead of America. Yeah, I think Normani being Nigerian is just a bad rumor. They want to get people from other countries because it's cheaper, plus no chance of asking for more. This is all yet another way to undermine and blur the lines of black American culture for everyone else to uplift their groups. I'm just saying, I don't care if you're dark skinned. A foreign black is not about to kick Journey Smollett out the group of being a black American. No, I don't care. You're not going to do that. She's never identified as nothing else. She's visibly black. Like, you're not going to kick her out. You don't get to do that. You don't get to kick out Megan Good's sister from Eve's Bayou. Like, you don't get to do that. You don't get to kick out Journey Smollett from Underground. You don't get to do that. Just because, like, you're dark skinned. No, keep your 2 cents. You don't get to do that. That's not even your place. The thing is, with the fashion industry, majority fashion houses are under LVMH, and it's very, very racist. And isn't the white man in charge of LVMH? That's the dude that's married to Salma Hayek, right? Hi, London Calling. People hear some shit or say some shit and run with it. Oh, somebody named Keisha Cole's dad. Keisha Cole's dad is Virgil Hunter. I don't know about that. Google it. Belafonte is Jamaican American or Trini. Sidney Poitier got a whole black family you never hear about. Normani is from Atlanta. Her parents are black American. Her grandmother's BA. She moved from Atlanta to New Orleans, then to Houston because of Hurricane Katrina. She speaks of her BA lineage a lot. Yeah. This is with Normani, it's definitely a rumor, a bad one. When people talk about black Americans not traveling, when I get to the bottom of the chat, we can end it. I know I've been on for a while. When people talk about black Americans not traveling, the truth is that Americans don't travel all at once because the country is so large. You can drive 8 hours and be in the same state. HBO is trying real hard to make up for even talking about Confederacy, that Confederacy show, and I hope they keep going. I was a truck driver for over a year. Seeing just how massive this country is threw me for a loop. I was mostly enamored with just how diverse black Americans are nationwide among different regions. Yeah, you guys know I've like road tripped twice now for the black Americans. I'd be on the road for 6 to 8 weeks. Like, I was on the road 6 to 8 weeks last year and the year before, you know, doing season 1 and 2. America is huge, and the black Americans everywhere are different. Like, we're very different everywhere, you know? And you guys know, I was doing, like, the soda. I was having, like, sodas from all different places, and people were, like, leaving recommendations. Like, you gotta have a Faygo. Like, you gotta have this. You gotta have that. Like, we're different. Bye, Vans. I'm late, but I want to hear this Chadwick interview. It's a new Netflix film he's in. The role must have had him lose so much weight. Oh, Warren, thank you. You did super chat. That's how they do it in Brazil, by appearance. My mom has ruddy, reddish brown skin with wavy hair. People always assume she must be from the island. She's from Alabama. Chadwick looks sickly. He need to take a break from Hollywood. That's how I feel. Azalea Banks is my problematic fave. She's a mess, but her music is phenomenal. I can't hate her either. Racism, yes, racism operated and is based on phenotype. Which is why you have the whole concept of passing. It's like people want to talk about the one drop rule. We could talk about the one drop rule. But the one drop rule is not just like, okay, one drop, that's it. It's like the one drop rule and like racism and like all this stuff is like based on phenotype. Like you have the whole concept of passing where somebody can pass for white. Like they could pass for white their whole life. They'll be treated as white, like everything, even if they do have like quote unquote one drop of black blood, whatever. A lot like when you're talking about the one drop rule, you also have to bring phenotype into it as well versus genotype versus all these things, and people are not ready to like go that in depth on the conversation, so they just like leave it very surface level, which is why, like I said, a lot of this shit I can't even take seriously. Like if you're a foreign black that's never been to America, do not ask me nothing about the one drop rule. Don't try to talk to me about the one drop rule. Don't try to even tell me nothing about it. You don't even know nothing about it. I follow Azalea on her private Twitter. She's always right about things. It's insane how good her insight is. Anybody could donate. Anybody could donate. Anybody could donate. Keep making. Anybody could support. We have a lot of like first gens and Caribbeans and tons of people that support. It's no problem. Bye, Davey. It's like so many like foreign blacks and like West Indians and stuff that are fine. Like they don't have no problem with black Americans. And I've seen it. And I've had conversations with like so many of y'all. So like the ones that do have a problem, I'd be looking like, I love that Spider-Man meme. I saw a whole documentary on it a long time ago. African black models get picked up by Eurotrash companies for nothing. It's cheaper to pay a foreign black model or actor on a work visa and confuse racial identity than cast in a black American who will call out white supremacy and demand market value pay. Yeah, watch it. Black Americans. Have a Black Americans playlist as well. BA Gang playlist. Go check them out. I've noticed many Africans are trying to change the narrative of who is black by calling out many black Americans as mixed. Yeah, that's why I said this is a slippery slope of people getting on board with that kind of thing. Because, like, they're calling Beyonce mixed. Like, they're calling black Americans mixed. They're saying we're mixed. I think this fake Normania's African thing is simply to do that, associate African to her, and then erase her black American lineage, simply to have her be a new up-and-coming girl, not a BA. It's definitely cheaper, and non-descendants of American chattel slavery aren't going to call out things like a DACS might. You guys know I always reference this Guardian article where the actor David Harewood, who's a black Brit, he literally said that he feels like foreign blacks, and especially black British actors, are better for black American roles because they're not like racially shackled. He like it was some type of terminology like that. Like they're not tied to the past. A role to them is just a role. Like they don't have no understanding of like the racial dynamics in the United States. All this stuff. He said it in black and white. David Harewood said this in The Guardian. Feel free to go Google it. It's still there. Like, yup, married to Salma Hayek. Bailey, you know I know. Like, you know I know my fashion. Like, that's why when Salma Hayek did that racist shit to the girl Jessica from The Daily Show, I wasn't even surprised. I was like, Salma Hayek's definitely a racist. They tell models to lie. Idris Elba was told to go into the audition to The Wire with an American accent. Yes, they tell them to lie. The finesse. Fago, Remy. People keep talking about how descendants of American chattel slavery don't travel and need to, as if it's easy and accessible. And also, God forbid, if some of them just don't want to go somewhere where they have to cross water. I especially love comparing different accents on a regional basis. I've also found Black Americans to be some of the friendliest group of people in my travels, depending on where you're at, of course. Yeah. Levels. We don't have to go anywhere experiencing the different flavors of racism. Yeah. Let's see. In my experience, people try to use the one-drop rule as a get-out-of-jail-free card in order to navigate different cultural spaces. Yeah. Let's see. I got into it. Hi, Andrew. Congratulations again on your graduation. I got into it with an Afro-German because she said Black people over here are obsessed with race in the past. People really feel that way about Black Americans. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's wild to me. Like, people will have, like, you have, like, quote-unquote fully Black, dark-skinned, foreign Blacks that will have all these ideas about, like, Black Americans and we're obsessed with race and, like, da-da-da-da-da and all this. But then when it comes time to, like, throw their 2 cents in, like, against, like, biracial Black people and light skin and like all that, they have all these opinions. It seems like you guys know, I feel like it seems like a lot of people are playing both sides of the field to try to get, it's just my opinion, I do think it's to try to get Black Americans fighting amongst ourselves, especially because you have a lot of Black Americans now that are like starting to like wake up and realize like, oh, what the fuck, like people are really actively discriminating against descendants of American chattel slavery, like even other Black people, like foreign Blacks. You guys know I feel like there's a social hierarchy and like we're at the bottom and people literally like climb on us to get up. And I do think that like, because a lot of this rhetoric like just started circulating around like within the last 3 to 5 years. So I do think, I feel like Black Americans and especially Black American women like started out talking about colorism, which was an important conversation and topic. And I feel like it kind of got hijacked by the foreign Blacks, that now the conversation is about biracial, mixed race, and not really about colorism anymore. And I feel like that was like a deliberate, just me personally, I feel like that was like a deliberate thing that was done because they saw that like descendants of American chattel slavery, even the biracial and the mixed ones, like Journey Smollett, were like coming together to like talk about like, wait, like the way that we're being treated and this and that. Now they're trying to make it like, no, like the biracials aren't even one of you. Like you need to be like against them and like be with us because like, you know, like whatever. But like they're still not fucking with us either. Like people need to like be aware of like all the shit that's going on. Like be aware. Hi Domino, thank you. Super chat. Foreign Blacks want to play both sides and call it freedom. Right. Like, y'all got a problem with the light skins. Y'all got a problem with the mixed biracials. Y'all got a problem with the Black Americans. Like, y'all got problems with everything. And y'all trying to make that our problem because you see that Black Americans are starting to, like, come together and, like, fight for certain things. So y'all trying to, like, fuck that up. Like, nah. It's Black Americans first over here. Like, you're not about to catch me slipping. Let me go back. Trying to catch up on these comments. So we could end this. I want to read all the comments though. I don't want to like let y'all comments go. I definitely think it's like a deliberate shifting of the narrative. Very deliberate. I really do. Because again, like you also have people that are now, like I said before, they're trying to make like Black American icons, you know, like Eartha Kitt and stuff. Like, oh no, they're not Black. Nah, you don't get to do that. You just got here. Like, you don't get to do that. Non-DACS black folks will say that we're so obsessed about racism in our past, but let us say the same thing about the colonization of African countries and watch their reaction. It definitely shifted. There's another level, another layer of discrimination against us specifically. I'm so glad we've been talking about this and that I know about it. Hi, Kai. Foreign black people in America don't want reparations either. This is all very fresh. Germans intentionally erased the past. Yeah. Bye, Raise Your Phantom Girl. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Harley. Thank you, Corey G. Super chat. Oh, y'all are on one today with the super chat. You can trace it in each decade. Anytime the DACS population is about 20%, something happens. Yes. I think of it as like a pendulum. I always think of it as like a pendulum swing, right? So it's just like you had the Civil War that ended, right? And then you had like Reconstruction, and like shit was going real good for motherfucking black Americans. And then motherfuckers was like, hold up, shit going too good for them niggas. Let's bring in segregation, you know, let's bring it on in, like, let's bring in all these laws, you know, because there was like no law. If you really read, like, shit's crazy, like, there was no laws in the books at the end of the Civil War saying like black people couldn't go to certain schools or that black people couldn't get into certain professions. There was no laws on the books because like black people like weren't quote unquote, black Americans weren't considered like quote unquote human. So there was no laws saying we couldn't do anything. So during Reconstruction, after Civil War, you had like black Americans that was becoming lawyers. You had black Americans that was becoming doctors. You had black Americans that was like really participating in like the rebuilding, the reconstruction of the country. And then you had people that was really like, oh nah, like we need to put laws on the books specifically saying black Americans can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. And that's how you ended up with like segregation and like actual laws against black Americans, right? And so then you had segregation, you had Jim Crow. And then you had the pendulum shift. And like black Americans was like, okay, you know what? Like, fuck y'all. Like, civil rights movement. Like, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, like, no. So then you had like laws that got passed, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And then what happened? And then like black people started like getting a little something again. And then what happened? Boom, we're on drugs. Bam. Crack. Bam. Welfare. Bam. Assassinating of our leaders. Bam. Locking niggas up, destroying our homes, all that. Pendulum swing, right? Like, every single time they see black Americans starting to come together and, like, get something, literally something happens. And I just definitely think that right now, I've said this in other videos, I feel like the powers that be, however y'all want to say, are also, like, wising up to the fact that we have our eye on, like, white motherfuckers right now. So now they're trying to, like, slide in the foreign blacks and like slide in like the non-black POCs, like, you know, ops and shit. That's how I really feel. So I really feel. We as black Americans are nicely trying to show them the door, but it's not computing to them. Hi, by any means necessary. I need reparations before I let a foreign black person dictate to me who is and isn't black. Yeah. Oddly enough, those colorism warriors love some Cardi B. Right, that's what I'm saying. People will be so quick to fucking kick Journey Smollett and Eartha Kitt and Lauren London, Yara Shahidi out the group. But then they'll be like, what do you mean Cardi's not black? She's from Trinidad. It's a joke. It's a joke. Oh, thank you, Maypolo. All of America got a stimulus check this year. I don't want to hear any opposition about reparations for descendants of American chattel slavery. If you look on a population timeline, it's disturbing. Reconstruction was arguably the best time for black Americans. Yup. Ida B. Wells started her whole campaign in response to her friends getting the grocery store they owned burned down after they were lynched for being successful. The Reconstruction didn't even do what it was supposed to. We also made a way out of that period for ourselves. The pendulum, when the pendulum swings, it takes us back decades, if not more. Yup. Reconstruction era is an intriguing era for Black American culture and politics. So for anyone that's not necessarily into like reading history or whatever, I really recommend and I just got to the bottom of the chat, so we're gonna end soon. I really recommend the historical fiction of Beverly Jenkins. She does a lot of like really good hardcore research, and she writes about like, well, she writes contemporary Black fiction too, but she writes about, her historical fiction is about like specific moments in time in American history. And it focuses on Black Americans. She also has a really, really, really great series set in the West about these three brothers that they own a ranch in the West, and they own all this land, which is historically accurate. And she talks a lot about how sort of post-Reconstruction, like things started to change. Like one of her main characters is like a lawyer. He's a Black American lawyer, and like his like ability to practice law ends up getting like stripped away from him because they like put laws on the books that like now Black Americans like can't be lawyers. Like her stuff's really great, and it gives you a truly eye-opening perspective on what was going on at that time. And she always includes reading references and stuff in the back of her novels as well, so like check her stuff out. It will really like, and she writes about all type of stuff like Black American pirates, and like all like, and it's all historically accurate. It's all historically accurate. Like she's a beast. She's like one of my favorite Black American authors, Beverly Jenkins. My grandma put me onto her, you know, because she writes romances. They're trying to kick out Beyonce. There is no sense. Reconstruction era is an intriguing era for Black American culture and politics. Yeah, it's a huge joke. Colorism warriors, the truth. Oh, by any means necessary, did super chat. Thank you. All the points. Beast Bake helps my blood, keeps my blood pressure down during the rest of the week. That's why we always try to do, you know, on Sundays, like, let it out. You hear? Yes, she writes Black romance, Mr. Goldstein. Ah, Kenneth! Thank you. BA gang. Super chat. Remy, I know you love Beverly Jenkins. She's the girl. Okay, I got to the end, so we're gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for all the super chat. And this was a really good conversation, even though we didn't get the movie to work. That's fine, totally fine. We'll do the movie next week. The movie is The Cookout for any people that want to look it up, and we'll also do Booze Bake next week because it's the last Sunday of the month. It's the last day of the month next week. Ah, Shannon, you did a little quick closeout super chat. Great Migration is one of the most interesting topics. Yes, safe space. It's a CFSPS. It's a CFSPS. Beverly Jenkins has a racist white slave mistress getting trampled to death. Beverly Jenkins books don't play. Like, I highly recommend them. Like, look into them. They're awesome. So, see you guys. Bye.